Yes, ma. Yes. Everything's a little bit wonky. It looks wonky. Everything's wonky today.
It's a bit like Willy Wonka's office, isn't it?
No, everything's cut in half in there. Is that not the...
Yeah, that's the one.
That was the scariest bit of the film.
No, that boat trip was.
I thought the office was scarier than the boat trip. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. No, okay, let's try that. Here we go, yes.
Who is it? What's going on?
There we go, we got a show. Welcome to the show, good evening. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, I like you. I've not looked at your blouse. It's a nice blouse. Oh, thanking you.
Thanks for the blouse chat.
Busy show tonight. That silly quiz that we do. We have, for the last 12 weeks, 3 months, every Thursday, Catherine and I have been competing, and it's worked out. Thank you, JRX Art. I think my beard fell off. Oh no, my beard is on. Thank you, Zama. We have been competing in that silly quiz that we do, and it has just worked out as if by magic. Jesus, go quick, go. Thank God. We've got the same scores. It's a draw. The painting went down for the homeschooling, yes. I'm so effing bored with that, because there's homeschooling tomorrow. And time Roger out, please.
No boredom allowed.
I'm
I'm never going to watch Old Boy now, because I...
Okay, well, I'll watch it tomorrow with the kids.
Will not bow to pressure.
I had my first day at college today online.
Yeah, how was that?
It was all right. It was it's surprisingly tiring. It was all right. It was all right, actually. It was all right. Seriously, can we time Roger out, please? We will not have that kind of language, attitude here. It was all right. Nice breaks. Watched a little bit of, during my lunch break, I watched a bit of that Korean show, Sweet Home, which is, I quite like. It's not as good as, I don't think, as Alice in Borderland. Oh, look at that.
It's good skills, that.
Hang on, where's that buzz? There's a buzz. And I fixed the chirruping. I know what the chirruping... You know, there's like that chirruping noise yesterday.
What was that?
It was the cable for the speakers was near a power source.
Ah.
I think...
Oh. Come.
It's all to do with power sources and uninsulated cables. I'll do the job. But you know what, Roger? Actually, you the mods have let us down. You got away with it. You got away with it, Roger. You got away with it.
Oh,
You're like...
Ollie struck.
Ooh, Ollie. Flipping heck, man. Flipping heck. I was going to say, you're like the racists storming Capitol Records yesterday. You got away with it. Because people were asleep on the job. Ollie says, my pleasure. So I'm enjoying Sweet Home, but it's not as good as Alice in Borderlands, or in Borderlands, which I just thought was so good. I thought it was so good. Such a good show. Then I did college, and after college, I had to go and pick up my boys who were playing VR in there. I played a little bit of Prop Hunt on Call of Duty, which I love. I'm going to be playing Prop Hunt tomorrow with my kids. No, I won't. Homeschooling. Then I went to Tesco and I bought some ginger biscuits. Ginger tea. I've just ordered ginger tablets and pressure point.
This is all to prepare for a solid VR session.
Here's the thing. We got 2 VR units. I know. One we got free and one I paid for. But they both got the same account, the same Facebook account. And that means that we can't play on some things together. Some things we can, table tennis and cookout and walkabout mini golf, we can play together. But on Echo and Barroom Brawl, we can't play together. And that's how insane I am. Part of me's going, buy another one, get a different account. The reason I get the games for free.
Well, you got a press one, didn't you?
Got a press one. I don't need to buy another one. Oh, I haven't got well, first of all, I need to get another Facebook account. Jesus. I've got my mum's, but I can't remember the login, so I could use that. But then I have to pay for the games. How much are the games?
They vary. Some of them are about 15 quid. Some of them are more expensive. Some of them are really cheap.
Oh, they're all free to me. Name a VR game on the Oculus.
All right, Beat Saber.
Cost me free.
Oh, cost me a bit more than that.
Yeah, cost me free. Cost me free. By the ladies and gentlemen, David Turners is in the room, the star of last night's show, and he's a meme now. Mimi. He is the star of last night's show and is the star of the internet. Mm-hmm. The internet.
If anyone out there needs to disappear in a hurry, you've done something dodgy, or
legend.
We're not going to ask any questions. Turner's your man.
That is the clip of 2021.
Yeah.
That is the clip of 2021, and I just do not see how you're going to beat that clip. Anybody. Very, very funny. Well, maybe I can just... I don't need to get another one. But then you've got to uninstall everything and... Could you buy me another VR unit?
No, I had enough trouble buying ours.
Why?
Because I'm having to top it up with games. Every time you say, "Oh, come and play this with me," okay, I'll buy it.
Buy it. I get it for free.
Come and play this with me. Okay.
I'm doing the hard bit. I'm researching the goddamn games.
Yes, silly me.
Thank you, that player well known.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. So let me think. I could listen. I'm fully aware there are starving children in this country, but I could I could establish all the games that I really like.
Yeah.
Reset my Oculus, log in as my mum if I could remember my mum's Facebook password. I use it. I set up a Facebook account in her name to catfish, and then I could buy the games that I know work, that I like, that I can play against those idiots.
You better pray that your mum isn't being investigated by the Soch, because they're going to think she's got a very active virtual life.
I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Yes.
Hello? I'm in a shitty mood tonight. I'm in a shitty mood. Tired. Old. What the fuck?
Been doing a lot of thinking.
I'm doing any thinking.
Yeah, you have. You've been learning today. I should hope you've been thinking.
I've not been thinking.
Or just copying. Just writing down.
Hello. Is it distorting in your ear?
Well, it is when you do that, yeah.
Hello? Hello? Oh, Ian, I've sent you a very good Alan Bezic phone call via email.
I wonder if it's the one you tried to show me earlier.
Is it the one about diarrhea? Oh, it was funny, but I couldn't find out exactly where it was. Okay, well, let's have that, because we love a bit of Alan Bezic. We love a little bit of Alan Bezic. All right, so let's go here. Where did you send it to, mate? Because it ain't... where did you send it to, buddy? Because it's not in my emails. If you did it to Ian and Ian Lee, it takes a while for them to get through. So it's not there at the moment. We can't play that. It would work better if you boost your mic in the control panel. Someone's about to get banned from this channel. What do you mean? First of all, what would work better? What would work better? Zyro Potato 437. It would work better if you boost your mic and control panel. What would work better? Huh?
This almost never ends well.
The sound. What is anybody else thinking the sound is bad? Because to me it looks great. To me it's going in the yellow and it just flicks the red. Now I know you're not supposed to, but I like it just flicking the red. Just flicking the red. Sound is perfect?
Okay, when it went bad. Okay, well, thanks very much for the retrospective guidance.
Right. Let's open up Skype. Explain what this is, Catherine.
This is a show called The Late Night Alternative, named because we didn't want to be talking about Brexit and all that old bollocks and all the stuff that's been going on in the world, although sometimes it does tiptoe its way in. Of course it does. You can talk about whatever you want. Here's the way you get in touch. We mean it when we say you can get in touch. We'll talk, but that doesn't mean you can't. We'll get to you as soon as we can. We have vague theme days, and today's is that silly quiz thing we do. We've been doing it for a little while. And for a long time, I was leading in the quiz. I was giving him a resounding spanking. But unfortunately, in recent months, I have slipped somewhat, and we're on 6-6 somehow. I don't know how.
So you set.
So today's a decider.
You play the games. We only. Boys, finish what you're doing, and then it's bed, please. Put those things on charge as well, or at least switch them off properly so they're full tomorrow powers. So you set the games. We only allow 2 quizzes. You set the games. 0203 286 637. Oh dear, what can the matter be? My little baby knows Lambatas be. Hello, my darling. Hello. How are you? Good. I'm live in front of. How many people are watching us right now?
About 3, yeah.
3 people are watching us. Ah. You know what? Oh, do you want to say it? Hang on a minute. Do you want to say it? There.
You will receive the vaccine on Tuesday.
You can now buy that merch. TLNA.co.uk. I've got the T-shirt. Could you? There's a T-shirt just around the corner there. Could you get it for me, please? Thank you.
Buy right now or else you're a loser.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
dear
Buy
me.
right now or else you're a loser. You will receive the vaccine on Tuesday. TLNA merch is available. Written by this guy. Go to bed. Yeah. Right. So this is it. Well, we missed our first call. Let's get in there. There's no more messing around. Let's no more Mr. Nice Guy. Let's play. Let's play.
I've got a pencil, I've got a paper. I'm ready. Good
Hello,
evening.
Alistair. Hang on a minute.
There he is, yes.
Right. Oh, hang on. They can't hear you. Here we go. Now they can hear you.
Have you got pens and paper?
Hey, Freddie. Thank you for buying the bubble hat.
I've got a stubby pencil and a piece of paper.
Yes.
Okay. Right, well, I'm happy to report, first of all, that I've recently achieved 20 months sobriety.
Yes.
Hey, well done, man.
It's not exactly that. So, this is a test of your memory and your maths. I would like you to tell me, and the winner of the competition is the nearest one, how many hours have I been sober?
Oh my God.
All right. Hang on a minute. All right. No. So no writing down, though, right?
Well, you can write down.
Well, then we'll come up with the exact answer.
Well, no, because it's not exactly 20 months. So.
Well, Jesus. All right. So.
So that is.
Right. Close the chat. Close the chat, please.
Oh God.
How many? What was the question?
How many hours
All
have I
right.
been sober?
All right. So.
Oh God, I hate this.
I can do this. So. No. Get lost.
What? I'm not doing anything.
Can't remember how to do some. So, that can't be right.
All right, I got it.
Whoa! What the flip? Whoa! Calm down. Hang on.
You're both looking handsome tonight, by the way.
Idiot.
He's in such a bad mood.
I can't remember how you do multiplication. No, hang on. So,
I found it a bit tricky doing it with someone going.
shut up, you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've probably got it
Two.
wrong. I'm not very good at maths.
Is 8 X That's too many numbers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 digits in my answer.
Have you?
So I've got too many zeros in it, right? So I've got to do something. I've got to get rid of some of those zeros.
Yeah.
Got to get rid of some of those zeros.
Or have you?
So I'm going to say 608,000. 60,800.
I've got 13,440.
They're both very good guesses.
They're not guesses. That's
Sorry, yes. The actual answer is 14,701. So I think Catherine gets the point.
Yes, I do.
that number. Look at that number.
That's a massive number. I wish I was sober that many hours.
Yeah.
One day you will be.
He won't. He'll be dead. He's an old man. That's old news. So first blood to Catherine.
Yes.
Nice one, guys.
Thank you very much, Alistair. Well done. Congratulations. Something's not quite right with the setup, and I can't quite. See the cat shadow. Do you see the cat shadow?
Yes.
That was George's.
It looked fuzzy.
1-0 to Catherine. Here we go. Who's next? 0203 286 6370 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can Skype TLNA. I tell you what we're going to do as well. We're going to get a little Zoomington going so that people can join us auf dem Zoom. Auf dem Zoom. What was that?
Whoop.
New meeting. No, I fixed it.
Oh, you did?
Yep, fixed it. I reinstalled an old driver. That's what I did. So here we go. Copy invite link. Here we go. So if you want to come and join us in the...
Looks like some people are having trouble getting in on Twitch.
Twitch playing up again, is
Yes.
it? Yes, Queen. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes sometimes.
They'll find us somehow.
Right, Alan Bezic. I've heard this. Where's the link? Well, you've not put the link in, mate.
I know you don't click links. It's worth a listen. So it's from the 4th of January and at 25 minutes 38.
Oh, so I've got to go and find it.
Mm-hmm.
I know the call that you're referring to. It's a good call. All right, we'll do it. BBC Sounds. Schedules. That's what we want. Manchester. 4th. Let's come over here. Down by my feet. As
George. It is George. Of course it's George.
25 minutes and 38 seconds. It is a good call.
Sorry for the gapage there. Hopefully that
Right
did
at
not
10.
reach TOS.
Fabulous. The thing is about that one.
Already, and don't need people like me mouthing off at them.
There we go.
But Ofcom are also considering adding political opinion about which bunch of clowns we want running the country. Surely, if we can't have political debate, we might as well get rid of the government and just put a dictator in. How do, Tony?
This is a good call.
Hello, Alan. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Happy New Year.
And what would you like to talk about, Tony?
The blind, the blind people.
You know the blind people.
All of them.
You know the blind people.
Live on their own.
Yes.
Can the manufacturers of tinned food not make it easy for them to recognise what they were opening?
This is great. This is great. I love Alan's show so much. He's been on form since he came back. There we go.
I suppose they could.
Well, why haven't they?
This guy's got such a real attitude. Well, why haven't they?
I mean, sometimes we do sound surly, you're Mancunian, and we don't mean to, but I think he is surly.
He did a line on the show last night, and I thought that's Kath. There's loads of calls about hemorrhoids. And a guy phoned in and said, well, of course, the reason that we have hemorrhoids is one of the prices we have to pay for walking upright. And it's all about blood vessels and stuff. He said, okay. He said, I personally got hemorrhoids from drinking too much. And Alan, like that, went, well, where were you putting it? And I just thought, that's Kath. Straight away. But and then there was another call about hemorrhoids, and this guy phoned up and said, I don't have hemorrhoids, I have the opposite problem. I've got diarrhea, and it's all of my, that was it.
I wouldn't think that was an opposite problem. Surely it should be something going.
No, well, because hemorrhoids are caused by straining too much.
Okay, all right.
He said, I've got diarrhea, and my parents had it, and I've kind of inherited it off them. And he went, well, you've what? Are you saying that somehow your parents have passed diarrhea down to you? He said, yeah, it's in my genes. And Alan went, what? It's in your DNA? He said, no, it was a joke, Alan. Okay, very good. It's in my genes. Are we broadcasting? Because the chat is dead.
Barely.
I mean,
I've just had to come out. I keep getting kicked out.
Twitch is down for most people. Is there anybody here?
Del Stokes is. It's too hot.
Del Stokes is a cheeky little boy. Well, we'll carry on doing this. Here we go. It's fine for Harsh.
Well, as long as Harsh is here, we got a show.
Take an awful lot of organising, because they'd have to get a universal system, and the number of different products on the market in tins, it would have to be a very, very, very elaborate system.
Well,
runs in my genes, or it's in my genes. Runs in the family is the other gag. In my genes, it's in my genes.
No one says runs in my genes.
Yeah, it's in my genes. So that is the joke, Cameroon.
I think we're giving it a little bit too much thinking time.
But thank you, Cameroon. Thank you, Cameroon.
I was thinking about just like one pip on the top of the lid.
I like this guy because he says pips.
Pip.
Yeah.
But say it's two.
Oh, by the way, Roger's blind. So,
Roger, how can you tell whether it's beans or peas?
Well, have a listen to this, Roger. This guy's got a plan to help you.
Food, not make it easy for them to recognise what they were opening.
I suppose they could.
Well, why haven't they?
Well, why haven't they?
No. That's the way he said it. But why haven't they?
Yeah.
It would take
the
an
emphasis
awful
on
lot
the posh H.
Yeah.
of organising, because they'd have to get a universal system, and the number of different products on the market in
Cameroon, I tell you what, why don't you fuck off? Oh, excuse me. Oh, you're lucky I can't time you out. Cameroon, it's in your genes. I'm recounting a story from a phone-in show, and you want to hammer it home. Go and watch another channel.
Also, if you're going to be a smart ass, spell diarrhea properly.
Yeah, exactly. You're not even a sub. You're nothing to me. You're nothing to me.
Anyway.
in tins, it would have to be a very, very, very elaborate system.
Well, I was thinking about just like one pip on the top of the lid. Like, say it's two. Two pips could be... 3 pips could
yes.
be boot, so on and so
yeah.
on.
Yeah, well, that is possible, but you'd soon run out of room for your pips.
Well, hang on, Alan. 5 pips would be suffice to say it's vegetable or fruit. 1's a 2's a vegetable, 3's a tin of beans.
Right, but you say it means a tin of beans, but it might be a tin of peas.
I apologise, Cameroon, for telling you to F off, but you're being a pain in the bum. I apologise for that. That was too much. That was too much.
Might be a tin of carrots. Might be a tin of sprouts.
No, I don't mean it that way.
Oh, that's why I was looking for
tin sprouts.
There we go. We got there in the end.
What way do you mean it?
So, if you want a tin of fruit, they get 3 pips
Yes.
on top.
Three
Got a
pips.
tin of soup.
Right, so you-
I haven't heard of Pip for ages, but I can feel it on my finger as he says Pip. I can feel me rubbing my finger on a Pip.
Braille, you mean? Is he trying to invent Braille?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Geeky
I
goes.
feel like having a tin of soup. So I feel like I'm blind. I feel like having a tin of soup. So I'll go to the cupboard. I'll put my hand in the cupboard, or I'll go to the supermarket
I
shelf.
like how his
and I'll-
thought process is, I'm blind. I feel like I'm into the
Yes,
soup.
dude. Sorry. Go and do it. Quick.
Take it down for it. 1 pip. Now, is that tomato? Or is that
You're such a noisy crawler.
chicken? Is that oxtail? Is that vegetable? Is that
No, Kim on, because it's lights out, please. Come on.
Scotch broth? Is it
That's a soup.
what?
That's a soup. That's
Well, it's a soup.
blind person.
Well, not
all the
not to
tin of
decide
soup
what to have to. When you're deciding
Luckily, no one's watching tonight after that faux pas on my part.
what to have for a meal, do you just pick the headline? I'll have vegetables. Fine. What vegetables were there? It doesn't matter. I just want vegetables. Okay. Do you want potatoes? Yes, they're vegetables. Do you want carrots? Yes, they're vegetables. Do you want asparagus? Yes, that's a vegetable.
Why is the assumption that blind people eat more things out of tins than everybody else?
Do you not want to decide which
They're
vegetables
lazy.
to have?
They're too lazy
All the
to
blind
even, too
people
lazy
are
to
worth
even
that.
look.
No. I want to open a tin of soup instead of a tin of fruit.
Well, of course you do, but do you not want to be able to decide which soup, or do you want that to be decided
no.
randomly?
Good night, darling.
No, I just need a tin of soup to start. Don't care what soup.
Okay, so
But it's not.
Like-
tin of
well,
fruit.
you don't. Well, all right. So you want to choose soup rather than fruit, and as far as you're concerned, that is enough information.
Sorry, say that again.
So you
Right. Is there anybody here? Let's see how many people are here. Because I'm just thinking, if there's no one here, I'm going to bed. It says on my screen 446 viewers, right? But I can't. Is it working? I'm going to go into Twitch. I'm going to log into Twitch. I'm going to go.
I keep getting booted out.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know if I can get booted out. If I go to let's go to Twitch, right? Because if there's no one here, I'm going to bed. Let's look at the home page. Oh look, James Buckley is playing. Right, but it does. Right, let's have a little look-see here.
Who's it? Who is it? What's going on?
Exactly. So, James is playing, right?
Well done.
I'm back.
I hate this map more than I hate.
I like
I
that.
don't know.
All right. So he's playing. I can't see now but the screen and chat. What else is there to see? Dan is streaming. Can't click on Dan. Can't get into Dan. Okay.
So shall we wait until we can and then do the boosties and just do like a few more
She's
bits of
She's having
GeoGuessr
trouble.
in the meantime? I
Right.
feel like that's probably the
I'm going to
best idea
say,
because
how many people has she got? Hello.
there's
Hello.
no way for most of you to be able to
We
see what
are
I'm doing
streaming
or get involved
as
with
well.
It, so.
Are you also having
Thanks, Bart. Woohoo! Mama B has
Streaming
audio back. Welcome back.
issues?
All right, more GeoGuessr it is. I don't know why I'm waiting for an answer when
It won't let me chat.
people can't type.
It won't let me chat.
Oh man. All right.
Okay. Look at the state of that front page. Let's go and find a just chatting category doesn't exist. Just chatting doesn't exist.
We're here in nowhere, everyone. Oh,
James is gone.
I said hello.
James is gone. James Buckley's gone.
Oh God.
What the hell? Let's go to random British dude. He's there.
There.
He's there.
Okay, I don't know how long it takes to turn one sand into one glass.
I can't chat. Chat is gone.
But we have got it, guys. We're going to have...
This is. Oh, then let's take a load off. Let's take a load off. Let's take a load off. We'll just do what we do. We'll just see. Let's take a load off.
What does that mean?
It means we take a load off. It means no stress. No stress.
Hello, Raymond.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Raymond. Oh, I bet. Oh, I've got to change this.
There he is.
Hi there.
Hello, Raymond.
Don't know if you can see yourselves.
We can see ourselves.
Hi, us.
You are streaming, but it has been very wonky.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Raymond? What should we do?
Hard to say. It's probably the second that you decide to stop, it'll all work fine.
Of course.
So,
I tell you what, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. If you tell me what the number is, we carry on. If you get it wrong, we stop.
5.
Carrying on with the show. Thank you very much for your input, Raymond. It is appreciated. Let's go. We don't. By the way, don't want loads of calls. Just saying we can hear you, we can't hear you. We're cool. Let's go to this guy.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, I'm going to take an unknown. I'm going for it. I'm doing it. No, they bottled it. Okay.
Silence.
Please hold.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I was just going to let you know it was working, but I've also got other ammunition if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's have it.
Do it.
Okay, first of all, Ian, I think you should go to bed if you're tired. I've also got a quiz.
Not forfeiting.
I've also got a quiz.
Let's do the quiz.
So you got annoyed with proper quizzes, so I've made up a quiz where yesterday when you said what's objectively the top 5 Bee Gees songs and I got it wrong.
Yes.
It's a bit like that, except just things I like.
Okay, yeah, I'm in with that.
So it's like an impossible quiz, but if you get it right, more respect, I suppose. Who knows?
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's the best cheese?
Are we writing this down or shouting it out?
I never think that far ahead. I think we can thrash that out now.
I can't even play ads or anything. Jesus, weird. All right.
Don't swear.
What is the best cheese?
Yeah, what's the best?
Cheddar.
I think you're going to say.
A Pilgrim's Choice, a strong cheddar.
I reckon you're a Leerdammer man.
Cathedral City.
Ian's got that one. It is cheddar.
Yeah, it's a strong cheddar as well, right?
It is strong cheddar. Yeah.
Which one do you go for?
Extra mature Pilgrim's Choice.
Which is what I bought today. Is that the one? It's they've made it in a smaller pack, haven't they, to use less plastic? But it looks like less cheese. And even though they say it's the same amount of cheese, I'm still thinking, yeah, but it looks like less cheese. This is bull.
What I do is I weigh them all just to make sure. The new pack's black for danger. I like that as well.
Yes. We used to call it, when I was a kid,
sorry.
we used to call it ticklish cheese, me and my mum, because it would tickle on your tongue.
Oh,
yeah.
I had a very strong cheddar over Christmas, and it was a little bit, it had like crunchy bits in.
Yeah, you can get that. Nutty. Right, 1-0.
No, that's not it, Catherine. That's not right.
Well, I'm posher than you, so...
That's knob cheese.
I'm not sure about that.
Knob cheese?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, mate.
Unfortunately.
I feel a bit sick now.
Yep.
What's the best football team?
Spurs.
United.
No, they're all shit. Football shit.
Okay.
Trick question.
I like it.
So that's none. How many times have I been to see Iron Maiden live?
6.
He's never been to see Iron Maiden, doesn't like him.
It's 8.
Okay, all right, give you that.
I do like them. I like them a lot, actually.
I've seen them once, and I've sat next to... I went to see a play, Jerusalem. Good play, long play, good play. And there's an airplane sound effect in it. And the guy next to me went... he leant over to me and he went, that's Boeing 629. I went, and I turned, I looked at him, I went, all right, nice one, thanks, mate. And I looked forward, and I went, and I thought, oh shit, that's Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden sat next to me. And it was, yes, Bruce Dickinson. He turned to me in the theatre to point out the name of the aeroplane sound effect that was being played.
He's the fella that owns that big bum, isn't he, in Milton Keynes?
Yeah.
Not Milton Keynes.
He's a nice lad.
Did he touch you? Did he tap you?
No, I think he just leant over. So we're sat in the theatre.
That's a shame.
And
That's how you get his power, like Jesus.
Right, no, he didn't. And he just went, that's a Boeing. We hadn't spoken at all. I didn't know he was with his missus, and I was with, I can't remember who I was with.
He thought you were the sort, that's why.
Did you have a notebook? He thought he was a plane spot.
That was with binoculars.
He's a registered commercial airline pilot.
Well, he flies Flight 666, doesn't he? He flies like a jumbo to Iceland with fans on, and then they go and do a concert, and they fly back.
Yeah, I saw the documentary. It's worth a watch.
I saw. I don't really. Not really my cup of tea. You know, I know "Run to the Hills," which is a great song, and I saw.
Run to the what?
Run to the hills, run of your life.
It's about
And I
the
went and
plight
saw them.
of the Native Americans. Yeah.
Friend went took me to see them. It was a great. Of course, it was a great show. I didn't know
Yeah.
any of the songs, but it was a great show.
They're no kiss though, are they?
No.
Oh, Catherine.
Carry on. It's 1-1.
First of all, with the wrong cheese, and now slanging off Iron Maiden. Unbelievable.
Really love you, baby.
Thanks, but this is not an appropriate time.
It never work.
Number four. Am I afraid of spiders?
No.
Yeah.
Catherine's right. I am afraid of spiders, but I still deal with them.
Well, that's not a real
That's
fear.
real. That's true courage.
That's
that.
not fear.
That's true courage. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Thank you, Catherine. That's what I.
That's how I approach life.
Lots of people been trying to tweet you both. Who
Huh?
cares? We're doing. Who cares? We're doing this.
We're talking
What?
to me. There's only one of you,
Someone wrestling fan 87. Lots of people have been trying to tweet you both. Well, first of all, have they been trying to tweet us?
They have tweeted.
Or have they tweeted
They
us?
tweet.
Are you saying that we've got a load of tweets, but there are also people that haven't been able to tweet, but they've really, really been trying to tweet?
Yeah.
And
So,
also,
I think the past tense of tweet should be twat.
well, that was David Cameron, wasn't it, on Christian O'Connell's
Oh, was
show?
it?
Too many tweets make a twat.
Oh no, am I getting my material from?
Yeah.
Sadly, yes, and it's old.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lee, back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Who are the best folk/pop band in the world?
Folk/pop.
Proclaimers.
No.
Birds.
Nope.
Telemetry.
Chaz and Dave.
Catherine's got it.
Yes, I have.
Catherine wins. I haven't got any more questions. I'm not that interested.
That's it. Well, we're out of. So that's 2-0, and we're out of quizzes. No more quizzes.
Good. Oh, that wasn't a real quiz, but yeah, sure.
Okay. Goodbye. Let's try this. Paul. Oh, Mr. Paul.
Hello.
Paul, where are you, Paul?
Hold on.
Paul.
You got me. I'm on my knees. Hold on a minute. Oh, I gave up. It's all gone wrong. I have no quiz.
Good.
And I can't see you, bizarrely.
Oh no, because I've got. You won't be able to. You won't be able to because I've got another camera open. So I've got Zoom open.
Oh,
Imagine
Zoom,
us
yeah.
and imagine us looking gorgeous, not
Well,
knackered.
I can
and
see you,
grumpy.
but you're about a minute or two delayed. just over there.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we look a
How you
lot
doing?
like those guys, but we're a bit further on.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I call? Yeah, no, I called for just to give you a technical update, but you've had that already. But the app is just not working at all. And the internet via the computer is kind of patchy on and off. You're there for about a minute and then it disappears. But
Well, everyone seems to be having the same thing. I've got kind of my internal Twitch where I've got all my control buttons. Most of them are missing. So it's buggered. Twitch gets buggered from time to time.
Yeah.
They're probably doing an update or something. I don't know. Or they've been hacked by the Russians. So we'll go on for a bit. You know, we'll go on for a bit.
I mean, the really bad news is David Turner's finally managed to get into the chat.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
There goes the neighbourhood.
Jesus, David Turner's. How are you doing,
That was
Paul? You're right.
hilarious.
You sent me a message and I don't think I replied to it. Sorry.
You haven't.
It's
It's
just-
fine. It's fine.
It's been a busy day. I did the college and I had to go and get the boys, and it's
Yeah,
been one
yeah,
of those days. How are you doing?
Mixture. Yesterday was not a good day for me. I was watching a Twitch stream when it all kicked off over the road, and yeah, that's just brought up a whole load of stuff for me that I worry about. But
May I be presumptuous and ask, when you say a whole load of stuff that you worry about, do you mean the seemingly inevitable rise of racism? Is that part of it?
And it's a thing I've been wrestling with for a while. You know, in all of the movies and stuff, and you're taught to believe that if you're good things will happen and all of that. And I still genuinely believe that what you put out comes back to you. But the good guys are not winning. and it makes me sad on quite a fundamental level, quite a lot at the moment. With everything else that's going on, it makes me sad with a big S, and I'm struggling with that a little bit. But nonetheless, I've been very lucky throughout all of this COVID business and been quite busy, and we still have a roof over our heads and all of that, which is wonderful. But I follow closely on and tweet quite vigorously on the other account about what's going on in the world, and I'm deeply frustrated with where we are and what's going on.
Yeah.
Deeply. Anyway. Yeah, I was just on my knees getting some rechargeable batteries to play an old Wii game.
Can't you afford them?
That's terrible.
Yeah, I was going to play Wii and have you in my left ear. And then
What are you going to play on the Wii?
I've just, again, Twitch nostalgia has brought me back to Zelda Twilight Princess, which I really loved playing the first time and probably the second time. And so I started again a few weeks ago, and I've been, dipping in and out. But the Survivalists, thank you for being a part of introducing me to that. Fantastic game.
That's your cup of tea, is it? Yeah.
I was playing it, and then it was 5 a.m. suddenly.
Wow, there you go. That's a good sign.
That is a good sign, isn't it?
I'm glad you enjoy it. I sent you that. I recommended that you watch that Frank Zappa documentary simply because he's very Marmite, and I think he was. But the one of the key kind of characters in this documentary is his timpanist. And she's great, and she talks about being at Berkeley, I think, and in the 60s, and she's a timpanist, and she was using a piano, and she got bollocked for using. First of all, she was using a piano when no one should have been playing that piano, and she was playing Zappa. And the guy came and said, "Well, that is not music, and you should not be playing that piano." And that's when she realised that she was on the dividing line. That was when she realised she had to make a choice between the old world and the new world, and she kind of made the jump over into the new world with Zappa. And she's in it quite a lot. And I just thought that you might get a kick out of seeing just seeing a timpanist talking about her experience. In that, I don't think you necessarily need to be a fan of Zappa. I like some of his 60s and about half of his 70s work. Then from about 77 onwards, I think it's awful. But I find him fascinating. I find his determination fascinating. And
Hello, George.
I don't know. You might get something out of it.
I've watched the first 10 or so minutes so far, and then I was too tired, so I went to sleep. But it's highly engaging. A very good friend of mine, who according to Twitch is watching tonight, Brigadoon. He was a big Zappa fan when we were at school together, and so I was introduced to his music back in the day.
Yeah,
and fascinating stuff. Very complicated writing.
Yeah, very complicated.
I can see how it would be Marmite for some people.
Yeah, and I think kind of from about 77 onwards, for a decade, he just goes jazzy. Then after that, he kind of composes big orchestral pieces, and I don't really like those. But I just thought there might be something.
He's one of those people, to me, like Bowie. I don't really get Bowie. I don't really get Dylan that much, but I'm glad they had a go, and I'm glad they're around. I'm glad they added to the sort of colour palette of experiences that people can have, and some people get a real kick out of them.
George, come on, man! Look what you've done. You've shrunk me blooming. How have you shrunk? How do you make the picture bigger? He's shrunk. George, you absolute
He shrunk his Twitter feed.
Look, I'm going to show you what George has done to me Twitter. How am I supposed to read that?
That is an intervention by the cats.
How do I make that? How do I make it bigger? The fudge do I do there?
Is there a little? Yeah, look. There's a spyglass there in the top. Can you not
No, that's not it. That's security. Oh no, yes it is. Here we go. Reset. Okay, now. Oh man, alive. Here we go. There we go.
Cats, eh?
Yeah. It's a documentary by Alex Winter. Either Bill or Ted, and it's good. It's good. It's worth checking out. There's also a good film I saw called Sound of Metal, about a heavy metal drummer who goes deaf. And there's a great speech in there from this deaf guy who's saying, you can spend years trying to chase a treatment, thousands of dollars trying to chase a treatment, but the silence, that's where God is.
Oof.
Oh, the silence, that's where God is.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, I honestly I would agree with that. That's many of my most memorable performing experiences have been that. In fact, most recently, with the RSNO at the Proms a couple of years ago, we played the War Requiem, Britain War Requiem, and Peter Ongen, who was conducting, that was his last concert with us.
Oh, really? The mysterious girl guy? I didn't know he was
that's his brother.
Conductor. Okay, right.
But no, he held the silence at the end of the final movement for it felt like a minute and a half. It was excruciatingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Just incredible. And because in a way we spent the whole of that hour plus preparing for that moment. And the Albert Hall, it was sold out. That's, I don't know, more than 5,000 people, live radio audience, and everyone held their breath. It was incredible. I live for stuff like that.
I would have shouted something out.
Can't take him anywhere.
Well,
you will receive the vaccine on Tuesday. Mojo Pop Party.
But I've been at a couple of concerts. There was this guy, we did I forget what it was. And it was one of the Vaughan Williams Symphony. I was in the audience. And again, this beautiful moment of pure meditative silence. And in the midst of this guy just went, bravo. And it was, it's like someone taking a knife and just cutting you violently.
What's the clip? There was a clip, wasn't there, that did the rounds a couple of years ago of a classical concert, and then there was a silence, and then a kid goes, wow.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah.
Ninja with Mullet reminds me, I did watch a lot of stuff recently. David Byrne, American Utopia. David Byrne, lead singer with Talking Heads, did a Broadway show. I think it was on Broadway. Which is like a sort of concert, but it was like a performance. And I saw him a few years ago. I've seen him a couple of times. Once doing like a straight pop concert, and once where it was choreographed. And I remember a lot of dancing on office chairs. Everyone was on office chairs, and it was beautiful. And American Utopia is a concert that has some Talking Heads songs in, and it also has it's also a political statement on the on just how shit America is at the moment. And he also does, and I don't know the title of the song, Janelle Monáe song, Say Their Name. It's a list of people of colour that have been killed, I'm guessing by the police.
Police brutality.
And he says, I wanted to do this song, and then but I understand that I'm a white middle-aged guy, so I phoned up Janelle and I said, Janelle, would it be appropriate if I did this song? And she went, hell yeah, we need you to do this song. And he does it. And but the whole show is so beautiful. It's the band is all walking around, it's all strapped to them. And it's the whole thing's a performance, and it's just a joy. And whether you're a fan of his or not, I am. But it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, so I've been watching that.
Oh, and the Bee Gees. Don't know how into disco you are, Paul. or well-fitted dentures.
Well, your top 5 yesterday, and I think I would have probably been able to have named maybe one.
Oh, really?
My world is different.
Yeah.
Sadly. Anyway.
My lovely guitar teacher and friend, I had to tell her about the Beatles. She's just, she'd been playing proper music from when she was a dot. She just didn't know this stuff that we grown up with. Meanwhile, she's trying to inform me about the stuff that she grew up with, and it's different worlds.
Yeah,
different worlds.
Yeah. That's the thing, actually. You mentioned the Beatles, and because growing up, my mum we weren't allowed to listen to pop music, so she used to work late on a Thursday night. So between my sister and I, we used to take turns to watch one of the songs on Top of the Pops, and the other would keep an eye out to make sure she wasn't back. So we'd swap, and that's how we got our kind of pop music education. And whenever she was telling us off and about listening to all of that music, she would sing this song, She Loves You, yeah, yeah, and she used to go a bit crazy, and that was the bad music.
Wow.
And it wasn't until I was doing a Beatles concert in Malaysia, 10 years ago maybe, and I realized that this was the Beatles that she was singing.
Wow.
And the whole concert was incredible. They wrote some incredible music, and I was surprised how much I knew.
What was the name of this group? It sounds great. I want to check them out. What did you say?
But yeah, that just puts into perspective how much I knew about all of that kind of stuff.
Did her condemnation of pop music make it all the more delicious and forbidden fruity? Or actually, was she right? Is it balls compared to the stuff that she was teaching you about?
There's a lot of it that is balls, but I think it's an important part of any child's experience growing up. There's something in the energetic nature of children turning into young adults that needs that kind of that thing to hold on to as a part of the journey. I think there's a lot of emotional expression, and
I think here's the thing a lot of grown-ups forget is that it's not for you. Some of that stuff isn't for you anymore. It's theirs, and they're allowed to have it, and you're not supposed to like it, and that's cool.
Yeah. And I understand that much more now, looking back and hearing an old tune, and I'm sat in the back of my Uber singing along and stuff. It's an important rite of passage, I think. I don't think that her withholding it made much of a difference to us, but especially when I listen to you two guys talking about all of this stuff, it reminds me of the deficit that exists for me in that way. But life is filled out with other things, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Thank you, man.
I like talking to you, Paul. You're a nice fella.
Paul. I forgot we were doing the show then. Thank you, man. I'll speak to you later on. Ta-ra. Chatty bye. I think we had some people in the Zoom at some point, but they might have. No, they've buggered off. There is a link for the Zoom if you want to. Oh no, that's not it, is it? That's the thing. Is it? It seems to be working a little bit better. I've got some of my things back. I wasn't allowed to watch Tiz was. No, we weren't allowed to really watch sort of ITV kids programs because they were common. I wasn't allowed to watch Game for a Laugh.
I remember my dad I had some birthday money and I was going to buy a video to watch, my own video, and I got to the cash point with Muriel's wedding, and my dad took it off me and insisted I have Harry Enfield instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the thing he wanted to watch?
Well, the thing that he thought was more appropriate, I guess. I was about 14, 15. Weird. There are a couple of moments like that. One with some high-heeled shoes. They weren't even high heels, they were like that. And I was probably about 11, 12, and I got to the cash point, and then my dad came and showed me up.
Hey, Jim!
Evening.
Hey.
Have you got a fan on in there?
Or is it raining?
It's snowing here.
Hang on a minute.
Hang on. Bloody loud snow.
Oh, that's coming. Hang on.
Hang on, it might be my mobile phone's next to the cable. Bear with.
I'm
Is that
gonna.
better?
No, if I. Well, let's see. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. What else could possibly go wrong? What else could possibly go wrong?
Well, we had some difficulties at first, but we got on the Fire Stick all night, like via the Amazon Fire Stick. So Jess kept that working, but yeah, really difficult getting on the computer or on mobile. Very strange.
Twitch
So-
is new, I suppose, isn't it? Ish. Oh, he's gone.
He's there.
Oh, here we go. I thought you dropped out. I didn't realise we were playing a game.
We're in.
Got to be playing a game. It's the finale.
All right, let's have it. Let's have it.
Can you see it? Okay, right.
How many of these have we got?
There are 5.
All right.
Usual format, 5. I've gone to short phrase clues rather than the cryptic stuff that Ian hated. And the usual question of crack or crease.
Okie dokie.
So we go crack or crease.
Umbrella.
That's a clue, is it?
That is a clue.
So we got to guess who it is.
And whether it's a crack or a crease. Is it a bum crack or is it some other form of crease? I know it's been a few weeks, but it's a simple format.
Okay. Yep. Next.
Question 2. Kiss from a rose.
Come on.
That seals the deal. Yep.
Question 3. Underworld.
Okay.
I don't know what underworld means.
I do.
Okay.
Question 4. Rock school.
My God.
Question 5. 13 going on 30. Crack or crease. Bum crack or some other crease of
I
skin.
don't know who any of the. I don't know who any of the people are, but go on.
Okay.
Swap.
Right.
Rihanna. Oh, I thought that was boobs.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh, they're all cracks in that case. That was Rihanna, though. I wrote Rihanna.
Yes. Can you have a point for that or no?
He can have a point for Rihanna.
But none for crease, because that is definitely
Right, so
a
they're all
crack.
cracks then. Those pants are ridiculous.
Seal.
That's
I forgot to put the word
They're
seal.
all
but
cracks.
that
They're
is
all
seal.
cracks. He's gone crack crazy.
It's a crack special. For
Yeah,
the
they're all
finale.
cracks.
The 3 Kate Beckinsale from the Underworld
That is
movies.
some crack.
That is crack.
You've put crease, but you put Beckinsale. Okay.
You've put Corrie Lady.
Yeah, from like the underworld.
Corrie. Oh, I like your thinking.
Number 4. Jack Black. School of
Jack
Rock.
Black's crack.
Jack Black. Jack Crack.
Oh, you put Gene Simmons.
Well, because okay, we put the wrong name down.
And number 5. Jennifer Garner.
Okay, that's a
I
crack.
don't know who that is, but that's a crack.
Actress. She was married to Ben Affleck.
Yes.
There you go.
7.
That's-
Catherine won.
6 out of 10 for you, monsieur.
Catherine won it. Beautiful cracks. Beautiful cracks. It's 3-0. It's a shame it's 3-0 because there is a chance we may have to abort tonight. In which case the scores would be reset. Just flagging that up early.
Of course.
Thank you, Jim.
No worries. Have a good one.
Thanking you very much indeed.
Hi there, I'll call back. Hi there, I'll call back.
Hi there, come back.
Hi there, I'll call back.
Hi there, I'll call back.
I'll go first. Here we go. I'll go first.
Hi there, I'll call back.
That's your turn.
Hi there, I'll call back.
You can do it better than that.
Hi there, I'll call back.
There we go. You won't because we're going to call you back. Oh, Jessica's not online.
She'll call back, she said.
Oh.
She makes the rules.
Let's see who this is. Oh. Hello?
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 Hey, how you doing?
Hiya.
Hello?
You're on our stream. Imagine it. Dreams can come true. You're on our stream. You're doing it professionally. You got one headphone on the ear, the other's behind the ear.
He's made everything misty. We can't see the
Loving
room.
it. We don't know what's going on in the room. We just get little glimpses of your room when you move your arm, and I can see it's messy. I can see that is a messy room.
I would like that filter on my life permanently.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. What can we do for you this evening?
Nothing much. Just wanted to say hi.
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 What's your name?
John.
John, do you want to fight?
Yeah.
Do you know martial arts?
No.
Okay, I do. I know martial arts. I know the karate, the kung fu, and the judo, but I wouldn't use the judo because it's rubbish. What are you doing? Is this the first time you found out this rubbish, this nonsense?
Yes.
And how could we make it better? You're young. You understand online streaming and Twitch and YouTube and all that better than us old people do.
Should we be doing more dancing, like on TikTok and that?
Do dancing.
All right. I think we can do that.
Okay.
It has to be done.
Okay. Could you show us some moves, John?
No, not really.
John's not your name, is it?
Yeah.
Prove it. Spell it.
It's my name.
Spell it.
J-H-O-N.
Oh, it's an unusual spelling.
Yeah, I know.
Jahan.
Jahan.
Yeah. It's actually Indian.
Oh, are you Indian?
Yeah.
Didn't realise that.
Why is your username Toby?
Because that's my online name.
Ah, I see.
It's spelled Toby, spelled T-B-O-Y.
Yeah.
To be. Or not to be.
Indeed.
Toby or not Toby. What do you reckon you can do better than us?
Don't know.
Say it. Go on, say it.
Go on.
Say it.
Nothing.
Say it!
No.
Why are you goading this boy?
Because I just got a feeling
I'm
that...
being bullied.
I've got a feeling that Jahan has got something for us.
Do I?
What's it say down here that we can't see?
Oh, I don't know. Does it say something?
Yeah.
What does it say at the bottom of your screen?
Probably just about my webcam because I'm using my phone.
Okay. So do you stream or do you watch streamers?
Watch streamers.
Yeah. What kind of stuff are you into?
Late night podcast, alternative. That's it.
You come to the right place.
Why is everything? There probably is a reason. I like the way that things are slightly in the wrong order. Well, you are here late alternative night podcast.
Yeah.
This is it. Ask us anything.
Don't know.
We have nearly 90 years of life on this earth between us.
Yeah.
Okay, we have seen, smelt, tasted, touched things you can't even begin to imagine. Okay, so you can ask us anything, and we will answer it.
I have got a question.
Here we
Would
go.
you end the stream right now?
No.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to know.
That was a waste of a question. Why? Of course, we're not going to end the stream right now. Why would we do that? Doesn't make
Do you
any.
also know who Vice President Madziva is?
Vice President Madziva. I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet he's a white supremacist or something. No, I don't know.
No.
Who is he?
It's a she.
There we go. That's the patriarchy. This isn't a 47-year-old man. I apologise. I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. I reckon you have to search them up.
No, I can't be bothered.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could
Fair
tell
enough.
us. You could tell us.
And then I'll keep it secret for you.
I'm not. Well, it's okay.
It's not normally how conversations work, but cool.
Yeah. It is now how they work.
I like how your confidence is growing during this call. That's making me very happy. Because you were a little bit nervous at the start, and now you're realising there's nothing we can do. Can't tell your mum.
I mean, how do I know that?
Well, what? Okay, well, I can tell your mum then.
I mean, go ahead.
Might do.
Go on then.
Yep.
I'll wait.
Okay, I'll text her then.
Go on then.
Right, gonna
So
do it.
phone number.
Well, I'm not going to say it on the stream, am I? Because everyone will be texting her.
Oh yeah, fair point.
Okay.
Sounding kind of sus.
Were you playing Among Us?
No.
Hey. Jahan is on our stream. Being a dick.
You can't, that's not how you spell your, my darling.
No. All right, I've told her.
Capital I, please.
Don't know. Might be lights.
Sorry?
I'm going blue. Wait, hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. I know what you're playing at. They actually are.
It's interesting the name Toby's come up again.
And someone else's face. I mean...
That was an epic call, even though I couldn't hear you at the end. Oh, you couldn't hear us at the end. That's disappointing. Who's this?
Catherine, my darling, watch old boy.
Did you hear that?
No.
Do you want to play again?
No. Never going to watch it now because of that guy. Ruined it. I would have watched it as well.
This is the weirdest. This is supposed to be the quiz night. We maybe will carry quiz night over, but or maybe
Just
we
let
won't.
me win it.
No, I'm not going to let you. No, I'm not going to let you, my darling. Watch old boy. Hello.
Yeah, hi there.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Hi, I knew I shouldn't have left a message. And the minute I left it, I thought, why have I left that?
Well, it's a normal thing to do. Lots of people leave messages.
I suppose so. That last bit of radio was very funny, to be honest.
What radio? What are you listening to?
Well, that's the thing. I've stopped actually watching the stream because I don't want to look at the chat. But I'm very much enjoying listening to it, almost like it was the radio. I know it's not, but it doesn't matter, does it?
You can watch without the chat, you know. You just collapse it.
I would prefer. I would prefer listening.
I do. I mean, I'm just old school. I know what you mean, Catherine. And I have watched before. And I did call Ian like a few weeks ago, and I actually think we had a misunderstanding because
Was that when you were really? Was that when you were really rude to me?
Well, I don't. Well, I was watching, and you'd got this face mask on, and it was like, I don't know, if Kenny Rogers maybe. This sounds so abstract, and then I was on the line, and I said, "Oh, that looks really weird," and then you got really offended.
No, that's not what you said.
Oh, wasn't it?
No.
Oh,
So there has been a misunderstanding. You've misunderstood what you said.
Okay.
You said it wasn't a very good show.
Well, you misunderstood.
No. Well, I've remembered what you said. You
did,
don't even
yeah.
remember what you said. You think you were talking about a face mask. It wasn't. It was the Daytime Friends logo. And you said it wasn't a very good show.
Oh, I didn't realise. I'm so sorry. I'd listened to the show. Was there an afternoon one and then an evening one that day or something? I think I'd seen the earlier one and really enjoyed it. And then the next one I hadn't sort of really started listening to very much before I called. And I'm so sorry. I've learnt my lesson.
Well, okay. Well, it sounds. I mean, there is no. There is no lesson to learn. I mean, and it sounds sarcastic. But the very fact that you thought I got upset because you had talked about a picture of Kenny Rogers shows.
I thought that, yeah, I did. Honestly, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No, you were very rude. So I'm happy to remind you. I'm very happy to remind you that you were very, very rude.
Oh well, then I'll take this as an opportunity to say sorry because I would never want to upset you, Ian. I know you've had a bit of a tough time recently, and
that's irrelevant.
I think that sort of, you know, I've seen your tough times. Well, I've heard your tough times before, and you've always come through. I'm sure you will again. I would hate to contribute to any tough time that you're having.
Oh, you God, no,
so I
you
do
didn't.
apologise.
It wasn't that important.
Okay, all right. What I was actually calling about. Do you want me to carry on?
Yes.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, before that kid was great. That's the future right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was so confident. I mean, I've got a nephew. He's 15, and he's just like that kid. You know, it's all about the computer. He's got obviously an extra week off because he's an exam year kid, so he's not got any set work until maybe even the 18th. So he's just on his, whatever it is, PlayStation and Xbox. But really, it was Paul, listening to Paul, who I associate as being the orchestra guy, and my nephew Jack, he plays the trumpet. And it's kind of quite a weird thing for a 15-year-old kid to be doing. But he loves it. And he said to me the other day, I said, you're not got to go back to school, have you? It's like, yeah, it's brilliant. It's like, you've not got to sit your exams, have you? He said, no, it's brilliant. I said, are you going to miss anything? He said, I'm going to miss my mates. I miss my mates. He said, I'm going to miss playing my trumpet. And I was like, oh, my God. Because without getting sort of over-sentimental, for his 13th birthday, just got into...
Okay, I was getting really bored there. 0203 286 6370. Was that rude? Just wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. So now we're quits. I just realised I was replying to tweets. And I just thought...
You know that you've lost it there.
Oh, God. All I heard was a 15-year-old playing a trumpet.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it was.
Imagine if we...
I was doing a doodle.
Okay.
It's kind of trumpetish.
Imagine if we were forced to perform an erotic dance together. We would be forced to do it.
To the tune of...
Macarena. I was going to say Macarena. To the tune of Macarena.
I can't imagine a scenario where you would be forced to do such a thing.
Jesus Christ, we get 3 days of schools closed and we get this. Hey man, how you doing?
How are you? I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm all right. It's a lovely picture of...
it's wallpaper of pictures.
Wallpaper of pictures?
Yeah, I've got grey next to it. It's all nice, like.
It's all nice, like.
Yeah, it's all nice, like. How are you doing then?
You don't care.
What's up?
No, I do.
You don't care.
I do care.
I'm all right. I'm in a mischievous mood tonight.
No.
How are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks. Just chilling out, watching the stream,
Yeah, I do. What's life like for you? Tell me 2 things that you did today. One good, one bad.
I haven't really done a lot today, actually. I played some games and that was about it.
What did you play?
Some Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah, I found that too hard. I liked the Doom before that, but this one I found it a bit too hard. And I had it set on like baby level, and it was still too hard for me.
Yeah, I have the one above the baby one. I'm on,
Okay.
One of the last levels, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you're playing on PlayStation, obviously.
I'm playing on my Switch.
Shut the front door. Really? Is it any good on Switch?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. The graphics aren't as good as what it'd be on like PlayStation or whatever, but it's still runnable and good. Yeah.
Me likey muchos. I've been playing a lot of Oculus Quest recently. The VR. I love the VR. Love the mini. But I get nauseous. Want to throw up when I play it. It makes me feel sick.
So you bought ginger biscuits.
Bought ginger biscuits.
The padding gets a bit too like firm against the thing as well.
The old Scullington. Very sweaty in there.
Mm.
Yeah, it is.
Very sweaty. Mm-hmm. What are you, 15?
Yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling about... Are you not... Would you have been doing GCSEs this year?
Yeah.
So you're not doing GCSEs?
No.
How are you feeling about that?
I don't know really. It's kind of just a bit too early to know what I'd think about it, to be honest, because I think GCSEs would be better, but predicted grades, because on the day you could have an off day and then not do very well, whatever. But predicted grades, if your teachers know who you are and what they think you would do, might give you a higher mark than what.
Did you do mocks? I can't remember if mocks happened in the end or not.
Yeah, we did mocks in December, November.
And how did they go?
All right.
All right.
Not too. It's because we've had all the time off, and it's just been difficult for us to catch up and whatever.
Yeah. You've been in an impossible situation. Everyone's been in an impossible situation, but yours has been. I've got a 15-year-old nephew who's won't be doing GCSEs this year, and it's probably not going to work to his advantage.
Well, also you've been built up to it from 2-3 years ago. We started talking about it, and you're imagining it, and that's what you're aiming for, and then this.
All your life, you work up to do your GCSEs, take your tests, whatever, and then you just don't do them.
Yeah, mad.
Do you know what you what job you might want to be doing in 10, 15 years time?
No clue.
It's weird. It's funny because 15 is it took me into my it took me into my 30s really to know what I wanted to do. Being asked at 13, what are you going to study that's going to set you up for the next 10 years? I don't know.
I don't know. I had a really good teacher who said, for your GCSEs, just do stuff that you enjoy and you're good at.
Yeah.
And then you could specialise after. Is that what you got?
I don't think I was very good at history, but I did it. I did it for GCSE, and I really enjoy it, and I've done pretty well in it. So.
What type of what history? What periods? What are you doing?
World War, Germany, World War II, Cold War, and medicine.
Coldplay, did you say? The band
Cold War.
Cold War.
Black Ops. You want to get Black Ops Cold War?
Yeah.
Because that teaches you all about it.
Yeah, you start playing that, and you play the campaign, and then you just kind of know everything about it.
It's funny. I lived through the Cold War. I was aware. We all thought we were going to get bombed by nuclear bombs. And the 80s were horrible.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
But it does sound like a more interesting period of history than we got. It was like Industrial Revolution for us and all the boring bits.
Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
I had the bloody agricultural revolution, crop rotation.
Flipping it, mate.
That sounds pretty boring.
It is.
It was dull.
Yeah. I mean, that is helpful in history, but I wouldn't want to learn about it.
Nah, it's not the most exciting thing, is it?
Nah, a bit. Nah, it's not very good though. The was one good, but they're good to learn about and whatever, because it's only 100 years ago that happened. So good to know about history. It was.
I'm watching. Well, I've got a conversation backwards. So the last comment I see is my sister saying to Jim, both two people that I really like, "I'm his mum, so I'm not." Thinking, oh
My
God,
God,
they're
what's
having an
happening?
argument, and I've just spooled back through the conversation, and it's basically Jim has asked if my nephew plays a trumpet, and it's
Oh,
my
right.
sister saying no, he doesn't. You don't play a trumpet, do you?
No, I don't play any instruments. I'm not
No.
very
Do you do anything artistic, creative, streaming, or anything like that? You do what? Sorry.
Design technology.
Okay. So I don't know what that means. That would mean a different thing from what it meant when I was at school 30 years ago.
Dad used to call it woodwork. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
CDT and
Yeah.
woodwork. IT was computers. I don't know. Well, this is your first night watching this, right?
I saw you for 2 minutes last night, and then I was going to call up, but I don't have any data on my phone, so I had to install Skype.
Well, you have to install Skype. I know it's an old Mac. We looked at ways of doing WhatsApp and stuff. Well, tonight's show I feel is a little bit flat, a little bit flaccid.
Well, because we've had a few false starts, haven't we?
There's been technical issues, but stick with it because generally it's just us dicking around.
And we do have a laugh.
Yeah, it's good, to be honest. I've been here for an hour, since the start. I was here when it was crashing as well. I just kept it out loop and then it worked.
Well, what was your name? We didn't get your name.
Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Ben, it's nice to meet you, mate. Thank you for calling, and we'll speak again.
Thank you. Right.
Cheers, Ben.
Yeah.
Tatty bye. Bye-bye. Everyone was on guard. Everyone was on guard. And then we dropped our guards. It was like Christmas Day on that muddy football pitch in World War One's.
Yeah.
We got another one. Let's go for it. Let's just go for it.
Tell you what, I'm desperate for the loot. Can I?
You go.
And then
I got this.
this water thing.
Another one. Let's go for it. Let's just go for it. Grant, if you mute your Twitch, you've done it. Mute your Twitch stream.
Please don't take this person. I'm not avoiding you. I'll be back as quick as I can.
Grant, mute your Twitch stream.
Done it. Mute your Twitch. Rob, mute your Twitch stream. Done it. Mute your Twitch.
Got it.
Hey man, how you doing?
Rob, mute your Twitch stream. Done it. Mute your Twitch. Got it.
He ain't got it.
I got it, bro.
Have you got it?
I've got it, bro. It's a bit of a delay, though.
Have you got it?
I've got it. Bro.
Is there a delay?
Yeah, I don't know why, though.
You got it.
Got it.
I'm putting the down a little bit. It's the way it goes sometimes. It's just computers, technology. What can we do for you, Grant?
So it's a bit of everything, really. Like I just obviously I've just like tuned into you guys. I mean, found you like a few days ago. I've started doing I kind of want to do a podcast over the quarantine period.
Yeah.
And basically just go from there and get some advice from you guys and stuff like that.
That's what we need. We need more podcasts.
Mm.
What advice? Well, okay. Pick our brains. We are multi-award-winning. Cass having a slash. We are multi-award-winning broadcasters. That's not a lie. That's what we are. What would you like to know?
Well, see, what I used to do before I started doing all this type of stuff. I used to set myself goals anyway. So I had this idea a few years ago to do 12 things to do in 12 months. So like a bucket list, but it'd be more like a one to do every single month type thing.
Yeah.
So that kind of pushes yourself out the boundaries. So it's kind of really just talking about them, really. But then I was like, well, I need 12 things to do this year. But obviously quarantine, that makes it a bit hard. So I was just trying to rattle you guys and your brains to see if there's any new activities to do, kind of push yourself out the boundaries a bit.
You rattle me and I smash your face in. Well, I can't see that. I don't know. He wants to do a podcast where he does 12 different things a month and pushes himself, and he's rattling our brains.
Just one a month.
One a month. 12. Sorry, one a month. 12 of the year. I don't know, because I'm an old man and I like doing nothing. I have. This is one of the things I talked about in rehab. Was they would say, so how many people do you if it wasn't for COVID, how many people would you be meeting on a daily basis? I said none. Okay, well, maybe we should look at that. I said, no. Let's not look at that. I said, I've worked really, really hard so that I can structure my life around. So I see my kids and I see you, and that's it. I said I chose a late night slot partly so I wouldn't have to see people. I enjoy it. I know for some addicts it could be a dangerous thing, but I like not seeing people. That's okay.
You quite like your own routine, don't
I
you?
love my own routine. So I would suggest for January you get addicted to heroin.
No, I wouldn't. It's very Moorish, because you'll be doing the same in February, I guarantee it.
It's very, very Moorish. I don't know, because I don't do anything. I thought you wanted technical advice. Technical advice would give you coming out of our ears. But in terms of, what kind of stuff do you want? What did you do last time?
So one thing I did last time, one of the first things I did was sing an open mic night. And learn a guitar and then learn how to sing and sing an open mic night. So that was one of them. And when the first time you get in front of people, your balls drop through your ass. And it's really
Kath will tell you about
all
that.
the time. They don't stop.
I'm constantly having to pick her balls up and reinsert them through her anal passage, and it's one at a time. You
don't have to do that. I wish you'd leave them alone.
I get great pleasure from it.
I don't.
I tell you what I did do last year though. I did a stand-up comedian gig.
Yeah.
I did a stand-up gig, and turns out I'm not that funny.
Hey.
Kath can tell you about that. I'm constantly having to push her balls through her ass. Okay, I saw a really interesting tweet from a person not really interested in at all, Alistair Campbell, who said one of the ambitions he set himself, it was over a longer period, was to brush up on his schoolboy German so that he could do an interview in German on German television or German radio about Brexit, and he did it.
Wow, okay.
And he did it. So do something where you've got to do something in foreign.
Oh, learn a language. That'd be a good one, actually.
But you have to then have like a conversation in public. Like you have to phone up, I don't know, a French phone-in radio show and talk to them in French.
Or something that's a bit more, I don't know, achievable. Ooh. Learn a song in a different language, like a pop song.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Sie liebt dich.
Yeah.
I mean, my first one for
Despacito
January
or something.
podcast up. So that's kind of the first one to go. So and it's just really thinking about 11 more to do. So I did like a stand-up comedy night, and I told this massive joke, and I thought it was really funny. You know the type of joke you tell down the pub, and like people laugh a lot.
Oh God, I hate that. I hate jokes. I don't like jokes because when people tell you jokes, there's just so much pressure on you to laugh, and I just don't like that interaction. I think it's bullying.
He does.
I do.
Pressure.
Yeah.
No. Well, we do not give you permission to tell the joke here.
No, I'm not. Don't worry. So when I told the joke at the open mic, it went down. It was like a good 10-minute joke, and then hit the punchline, and no fucker laughed.
A 10-minute joke? Sweet Lord Jesus, what?
Yeah, like jokes in the middle of it as well. It's like quite a long joke. But yeah, it hit the punchline and just dead silence. Like, rotten balloon, like Don. So I was like, I picked the guitar up and started singing and saved myself that way.
Singing is weird, right? Because even if you're crap, once you go, and that was that, down, we are all genetically programmed to go,
Great work.
But we're not genetically programmed to laugh at to laugh necessarily at a joke. So does the punchline, silence. But oh my baby, pretty little baby, making love to you tonight. You get that?
To be fair, when you go to an open mic and there's like a really bad singer, you always clap them more, don't you? To be fair.
Yeah, because it's like chutzpah. You admire the balls that they have not left on the stage. You admire the balls of someone to go out there and do it. So, but I think with stand-up comedy, there is a bit of a macho thing sometimes of, right, you think you're going to make me laugh then? And so there's a little bit of defensiveness on both parts that can make it uncomfortable, especially when someone's new. Tricky. Very tricky.
Well, I've got it off my to-do list anyway, so that's done. Not
Good. So you got to think of like 12 things that you're going to... How would you find them? Well, why don't you put... I don't know. This is just off the top of my head. Put in "how do I" into Google and see what they suggest.
Let's see what it suggests for me. But if I do it on my Google, it'll be something vulgar. How do I keep my... get a COVID test, cancel Amazon Prime, buy a Bitcoin, become a creator on Brawl Stars? Well, how do I do... That was a terrible idea. That's really not come up with anything.
I don't think your suggestions are very good. Let me have a look on mine.
Okay.
So it's one of them. Like another thing was like a random act of kindness. So it was like buying someone something off Amazon Prime for like less than 20 quid and then getting it sent to an address. Does that make sense? So that's just like a nice thing to do. But like obviously it's got to be one of your friends, otherwise you won't trust it. So I did that last year as well. But it's just other little things like, you know, build a rope swing and stuff that doesn't actually cost any money. But like you can get a story out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that sounds like my pot of possibilities that I used to do for the kids. Doesn't it? I used to have this jar and I would have things in it like carpet picnic or make a cake, whatever it might be for the kids. And we'd put it all in on bits of paper and we'd shuffle them up and every day they would pick one out. So it would be like, it would be a game of chance. But, you know, some things were expensive and cost money and a lot of things were free. But you just want something that's some sort of mechanism. If you put how do I learn in Google, you get suggestions. How do I learn to sing? How do I learn to love myself? How do I learn sign language? And then how do I learn Japanese? How do I learn to trust again? That could be a thing.
How can I mend a broken heart?
Yeah, how can you? Maybe you should do
make a baby with the lady.
Practice that.
Yes, mate.
That one day.
Okay, well, Grant, listen, best of luck. I hope it works out. We find some fun things to do, and that's cool. I don't know what's going on tonight. This is a strange old night, right?
Yeah. Feels like people are falling into our rabbit hole that haven't fallen in it before.
Yeah, it's when they're all welcome. It's a call that we missed earlier.
Hello.
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 It's Ollie.
Hello, Ollie.
Ollie, have you shrunk? Did Gargamel get you and shrink
again?
you? Sorry?
Am I shrinking again?
Ollie, Ollie! You sound tiny.
I'll ring you back on Skype or something.
Okay. Ollie sounded tiny.
I sound very distant. I don't mean emotionally so.
I don't know if we got any bits from you, Ryan, but if you did, thank you very much indeed. Here's what we're doing. We're abandoning the quiz for tonight. Because the vibe, it's going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
So we're abandoning the quiz for tonight. But we will come back to it at some point. We need to talk about these because we forgot to do these in the first hour, and I'm aware that's very, very naughty. Gregorian, Emerson, Law, family is listed. Hang on a minute. Ollie will cut. All right, let's do Ollie. Let's do Ollie.
Can't see. There he is. Hello.
Hello, Ollie. You've grown again.
Can I set you a series of challenges?
Set it for that fella because we're not into challenges. I'm feeling very lazy at the moment.
Oh.
Well, tell us what the challenges are. Because if the challenge is go to bed after the show, I accept.
I was going to do a series of them.
Yes.
One was how long can you both hold your breath for?
Oh, I'll do that. We'll do that. All right, here we go.
But there's six. Listen to all of them.
Oh, Jesus.
If I can remember them all. What is the longest word you can think of and spell? What is the biggest thing in the room you can balance on your head? And who can pull the ugliest face? And the chat decides who wins.
Okay, well, and what is this? Was this for just to give you the horn?
You're dancing monkeys now, are we? Is that what we're here for?
Oh, these are quiz. All right, these are quiz points. All right. Well, can I suggest? Right. May I? Dave is saying, "How long can you leave a tenner on the floor without stealing it?" That's unfair. Listen. I would suggest. Not the picking things up in my room.
Who is it? What's going on?
I don't know. But I'm up for the blow. What was it? Blowing a hole? What was it? Blow a hole.
Holding your breath.
Holding your breath.
Yeah.
Ugly face.
Yeah.
And pushing.
Longest
Was it
word
pushing
spelling?
balls up your bum? What?
What? Why are you obsessed with pushing things up bums?
That's the last guy was talking about pushing the bum up
My balls.
Up my bum. Oh, I bet someone's done that.
I bet they have.
I bet people have done that, Ollie. I'm not suggesting you for a second. Sorry, but I bet people have done that. They've got a ball and put it up, a testicle ball, and put it up someone else's bum hole.
I bet some people, because the human body is a remarkable thing,
It's
and
incredible.
everybody's different. I bet someone's got a really small taint and they can do it dead easy.
Yeah.
You could probably do it just by sitting down.
Yeah.
Someone told me that's how you get really good pleasures if you stick a bollock in.
It's how you get. It's how you get really good. What? Sorry.
Pleasure.
You said pleasures, didn't you? Plural. You stick a bollock in your own bollock. Oh, my kids are upstairs. Your own bollock.
I haven't tried it because it sounds painful, but that's what he told me.
I haven't
really
got one.
good pleasures.
I've heard of people sitting on them by accident and it hurts. I can't imagine purposefully.
How do you think about my challenges anyway?
Okay, I will stick a bollock in and see if I get really good pleasures.
Don't do it now. I don't want to see that.
Give yourself a bollocking. Well done, Hoffa. Thank you. What? Right. I don't. Right. So go through them again.
So
blow.
I'm going to do the ones you accepted.
Yeah.
Hold your breath for the longest, each of you, and whoever wins. Don't cheat. Longest word, and you've got to spell it and not do the internet.
Okay.
And then, what's the other? Pull the ugliest face, and the chat has to decide who wins.
All right. Okay. Close the chat. Close the chat for the moment, because right.
Okay.
Okay.
Leave as well because I want to watch it.
Can you? Well, can you? Can you not? Why are you not looking at us on? Can you see us on Skype?
I'm getting out the bar.
Oh God! Talking about pleasures while he's got nothing on.
Imagine if he slipped and a bollock went up. Just an awful situation. But it was a bollock that was just lying on the floor. Imagine that. I wonder if there's been
That happens a lot to people. I had a friend who was an emergency nurse, and people
Yep.
used to fall on all kinds of things.
that had condoms on.
Yes.
Quite often. Right. Sorry, it's getting too vulgar. I apologise. We've brought you down to our level, and we should be climbing up to yours. So apologies.
Naked.
All right. But how do we time the breath thing then? If you're not the arbiter.
Oh, well, you just. Oh. What? So I count? Do I count?
Well, you have to be the judge of it.
Oh, but then I can't sit. You have to just be. No, you hold your breath at the same time. You go 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Hold your breath on 0.
All right.
And then whoever goes like that, they're
Okay.
the loser.
Okay, here we go. You count us
Okay,
in.
I'm putting the phone down.
Hang on, what are you doing? You're putting the phone down?
Yeah, because I want to watch it.
So is that the end of the call?
Yeah, but then the chat will decide, won't they?
Well, the chat would. Right, we're just doing this one. We're not doing any of the other ones.
No,
Right,
do
here we
the
go.
other ones. The other ones are good.
Goodbye. Okay, here we go. Oh, we need Ollie to count us in. Sorry.
Bring him back.
Hey, Jerry, nice to see you, mate. Okay, let's. Could you count us in, please? Oh my God! No!
I'm going to get up.
Good. I don't know what I'm looking at though. I can see his hair and a curve. Right. So just count us in, and I'll cut you off very quickly.
3, 2, 1, 0.
You're cheating. What was that?
That was how much I could have. That was what I was stealing from you. So that's what. Finally, I've won a game. 3-1.
Well done, a breathing game.
Flipping it. Can we talk about these?
I win the thinking games and you win the
We
breathing
got
games.
a new. We got a new logo. This is a great one for GE Law. This is a great logo. I've not spoken to Richard. I think he's angry with us for just taking the piss out of his company.
I think he's busy, probably.
So what we have decided we're going to do is we're going to do. We have been laughing at Richard. I mean, that is fun. Listen, I don't think we've been taking Richard's company seriously enough. Okay, so we got a new logo that we're gonna.
Look at those shades.
I can't look at them. I'm wearing them. So this is here we go. So this is the new logo, and there we go. This is from Colin. Thank you, Colin.
Thank you, Colin.
So this is Richard Gregorian. He's a saint. From this, the heart being pulled apart, to this, the handshake. And that's via Gregorian Emerson Family Law, gelaw.co.uk. And let's just get a close-up of the saint there. I can't really do it. I've made it too big now.
No.
There we go. There we go. Perfect.
The little one.
That's it. There we go. So that's that. Right. So that's Richard Gregorian.
Oh, that's lovely.
GE Law.
When the crowd say, Bo, selector.
What's this?
Someone told me that's how you get really good pleasures if you stick
Pleasures.
It's
how you get pleasures.
It's
Hang
how
on.
you
Get really good what? Sorry. Yeah.
Someone told me that's how you get really good pleasures if you stick a bollock.
Pleasures.
It's how you get.
It's how you get really good. What? Sorry. Yeah.
Someone told me that's how you get really good pleasures if you stick
Pleasures. I like that. I like that. We had some winners yesterday, and I'm going to sort that out probably at the weekend now. And the mods getting some merch. Christmas merch is going to happen. I need to send emails to you and introduce you to Scott, and that is thanks to Richard Gregorian.
That guy, yeah.
Poseidon Safety Management, Devon and Cornwall is a whole lot safer. During lockdown 1, the classic, my favourite of all the lockdowns so far.
Oh, that was when it was new.
They went and gave free patrols to a school that got broken into, free patrols to a nursery that got broken into, and free patrols to a pub that got broken into. Obviously, they do stuff for money as well. I mean, like safety stuff for money. Not, oh my God. I mean,
private dancer.
They're not turning tricks for money.
For money.
But Devon and Cornwall is a whole lot safer thanks to those people at Poseidon Safe on Twitter. And we'll be talking more about those a little bit later on in the show. abbeycare.co.uk. Specialist addiction recovery clinics. I went there for 4 days, and I didn't stay because I was desperate to get a fix of ache. No, I didn't stay because it wasn't appropriate for me at the time. But it was a great place. I went to the one in Gloucester. Amazing building, amazing grounds. More importantly, excellent staff, and I met some lovely people there. Thank you, ADS Arthug. I met some lovely people there, and it was I wouldn't say it was a joy, but it's a really good place. They know their onions. A lot of addicts, recovering addicts and alcoholics are working there. So if you have an issue, they will address it with empathy.
Oh, hi!
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. 34sp.com. Great sponsors of the TLNA Mahu sale. 34sp.com have a special offer for you, my darling. It is £1 for a domain. And when I say domain...
You sound like Jackie Stallone.
No, she sounds like, yeah, Jackie.
I get Jackie Stallone.
Jackie Stallone. All right, Jackie Stallone could sell you domain. You can get yourself a .co.uk. You can get yourself a .org.
You got shares up there at the moment.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. I've got to snap out of it. Go on, get me a.
Well, it takes a minute because I've got to do it.
I'm in the vibe now. I'm in the vibe. I think that in her head, that's what Jackie Stallone thought she looked like.
Yeah,
Cher.
but instead,
she didn't. She was a very different person indeed, and that's fine. Let's have this. All right, here we go.
Oh,
what?
I'm confused. Hang on. What is going on here?
What's happening?
I don't know which one's which. I cannot tell. No, you don't. Don't pull a face. Don't pull a face. Let it go. Relax.
I've got them my normal lips.
There we go. I can't tell which one's which.
How dare you? Right. Hey, yeah, Jackie, 34sp.com. If you're going to get yourself a side hustle, the time is now. I can't believe they're locking us down for a third time. Can you believe it?
You should have seen it written in the arses because you read arses.
Well, exactly, but it's been a while since I've seen a nice pair of futuristic buttocks. My son, my beautiful son Sylvester says, Mom, I'm too old for this. I said, get those pants down and be looking to your future. The future is looking bright for that boy, let me tell you. But it's also
What about Frank Stallone?
Frank, never mind. Frank did not get the looks. So that's okay. Not everyone can look like their mother. He looks more like his father. 34.
I'm really sorry, Poseidon. We'll make sure you get we'll make sure you get a crack of the whip. Sorry.
34sp.com. They're good guys and gals. They're not sending their staff back to work this year, but they are putting them to work on your behalf. So if you want to get that side hustle up and running for £1, you can get yourself a domain.
Okay, dokey. That's a thing. Right. I don't really know what's happening with this show. Oh, so I won that. So that's 3-2. Or had I won one before?
No.
Okay, so it's 3-1. Can make that a big fat one though.
A big fat one.
3-1. I don't really know. I don't really feel like
What?
this show's. I don't know. There we go. They didn't see it. Maybe they did see it. They would have seen that.
Yes.
The quiz. Okay, we're doing the quiz. Fuck. It's loud.
I know. We're not doing the quiz. You said we were going to stop it, and then Ollie started again with his flipping literally naked bollocks.
What?
Talking about popping one in. Flipping heck.
Pleasures.
For pleasures. Pleasures. Anyway, ring us up. Let's have a chat about something different.
Let's have a chat.
This is silly.
Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
Let's have a chat. Let's just have a chat.
Yeah.
Let's just have a chat. Otherwise, we're going to watch Make Slough Happy, and no one wants that. No one wants that.
Not even Slough. I mean, poor old Slough.
No one wants that.
Slough just wants to be left alone.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? When I sent you a quote from Kurt Vonnegut about when he was asked to speak at a school, and it was a line in it was something he had passed on to me when I tried to get him on LBC to interview Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah.
And the quote was something like to this school, or this thing that wanted him to speak. I'm a dried old husk. You might as well put an iguana on stage. I have nothing more to say, and that was what what he said to us was, I have nothing more to say. I have nothing left to say. So thanks for the invite, but I have nothing left to say. God, I wish I kept that email. It wasn't from him. It was from his lawyer, who I think I was acting as his agent. And that's what I feel like. I have nothing left to say, and it's not through. No, I'm not going to do a miserable whinge. I'm just saying where I am. It's not through having done nothing. So actually, I've done quite a bit the last few weeks. I've got plenty to draw on. But something has shifted. Something has shifted in me, and it's like I'm kind of been sat here this week, and they've been great shows. And thank you for your kind words about last night's show. Kind of like I'm sat here this week, thinking, I don't quite remember how I did this. And that's not because I haven't done it for a couple of weeks. It's not because I'm feeling depressed. It's not because of the relapse or anything like that. It just, it feels like I've moved on. Do you know what I mean? And I don't say that, but it feels like I've kind of moved on. And I'm sat here thinking, I remember I used to be able to do this quite easily, and I can I can get by, but I don't really remember what it was I did.
I've got the opposite. I've done nothing. I've got nothing to tell you. I'm knackered. I'm absolutely shattered, and I'd forgotten how. And this is going to sound awful, but bear with me. Having the kids at home all the time, I'm never on my own. Never on my own. And I cannot do the things I used to do. I can't go off for a nap if I feel like one, if I'm tired in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I can't skip a meal if I'm not hungry. I always have to be there making... And I feel a little bit claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Today, my dad rang me up and he said, "Can you go to the shop for me?" I went, "Well, I can't really. I'm stuck. I'm on homeschooling duties." And then my husband came home and I said, "Right, brilliant. I'm going to brilliant. I'm going to Tesco's just so I could go for a walk, and do something outside the house." I'm getting like that, and it's only like day 3.
Yeah, this will go on until the end of March. If you in the chat, official Sierra Tango says, "Is it true that Roald Dahl didn't like kids very much?" I don't know, but I know that he didn't like Jews. Quite anti-Semitic, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, his family have just come out recently and apologised because it became a thing, as these things often do. They kind of come to the surface every few years. There you go. That's the answer to that. It's probs just because you're cutting down on your meds. I don't think that is. No. I had that feeling before that. I think the reason I was in a bad mood at the start is because I'm cutting down on my meds, and this is why I'm trying to be really aware of how I'm feeling and aware that I'm changing the chemicals in my back. But no, like a spectator in your own life, no. It's the lockdown blues, no. You got the lockdown blues, no. There we go. Those are the answers to those questions.
It's that I've purposefully not been looking at Twitter for over Christmas because I had other stuff to deal with, and it just would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. It's kind of creeping back in. I don't think that's helping at all. I just feel generally.
Sorry, Rachel. Thank you.
I just feel generally flat. And I know that I've not got it as bad as other people, and I know
Doesn't
that.
matter though, does it?
But no.
Lost mojo, innit? Dave is closest to the bull, I think.
Yeah.
Mojo. Well, no, actually, I don't think because my mojo was very much there for college today. It's just well, this is no secret. I think I've mentioned it here, and I've certainly said to Catherine that I'm thinking of kind of knocking. I've talked about it before, knocking show business on the head at some point. Because that's one of the revelations that I made when I was 4 days in rehab. Is I don't really like doing this job, and I think perhaps part of it is I don't think it is this, but this is a very blunt example. When when you're quitting your job, you got like a month left, and you've handed in your notice, or you're going to hand in your notice, and you're like. I'll have an extra 20 minutes for lunch. I won't. There's that kind of. Maybe you don't because you're a bumlick, but it just feels like. And I don't. But that's rude to you.
I know what's up with me. I think.
Go on.
I'm not building anything anymore.
Hello.
Hey.
Welke Daniel here. Catherine, I sent you a tweet message and you didn't reply.
No, it's weird. Why would I reply? I didn't get a text message from you. Why would I get a text message from you?
No, was it a Twitter?
I don't always reply to everyone on Twitter.
No, because you had this amazing water bottle, very large bottle.
Would you like to show it to the boys and girls, the ladles and jelly spoons?
Where did you get it? Was it
Amazon.
Thank you, Donnie.
But you could send me the link, like. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
How about you Google it, mate? I'm not your personal shopper.
Because it's large. How large is it? Is 1 liter?
St. John.
No, it's 2. It's for a whole day.
That's what I need. How much does it cost?
What? I can't remember.
Why don't you go onto Amazon and type in 2 liter water bottle?
Okay, I'll
Try
do
that instead of getting cross with me for not responding
but
to tweets.
If you could put on the chat room the link, would be
or you
amazing.
could just Google it.
One of us is
Not
going to have. One of us wants it. One of us has it.
This is the only one I like.
Okay, well.
Could come.
Well, good luck finding it then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
One of us is right. One of us is going to have to do the typing, and I don't see why it should be me.
St. John's on fire tonight in the chat. They're too rude to read out, but he's been very, very funny.
Yeah.
No, someone on the chat room could put the link.
Yeah, or you could fucking Google it. Why can't you? What's your problem with Google?
Because there are hundreds of thousands of bottles. This is the only one I like.
Type in 2 liter pink water bottle.
It's not pink.
What is it?
That would take me 2 minutes. Like.
Yeah, it would take you 2 minutes.
It's going to take me longer, and I've already got one. Why am I doing this?
Liters or just 2L? 2L?
Either way, I don't know.
2 liter drinking bottle.
Plastic bottle?
Yes.
No, made out of children's kidneys.
No.
Dangleby says found it in 30 seconds. Don't put the link in the chat. Do not put the link in the chat. They have put the link in the chat. DJ Black says, here's the link, google.co.uk.
delicious.
The link is.
Look at the colors. It blends the colors like it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is. The link is. I think you should get it and fill it with vodka. The link is in the chat. Someone has put it there.
It is. The link is. There is? Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. Okay.
You're welcome.
So, see you later. Bye-bye.
So you phoned us up. It's harder to make a phone call than it is to Google something. Oh my God. Sweet Jesus. What are you on? Sorry. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yeah.
You're so fit.
Thank
Can
you very
come on
much
my
indeed.
bed?
That's very, very kind of you to say so. Because I'm feeling a little bit funny about my appearance, but I would take that as a great compliment. Thank you so much indeed.
Google that.
0203 286 6370. So you're not building anything?
No.
Can you expand on that?
All my plans are up in the air, aren't they? I'm not building anything anymore.
Oh. Because I don't want to do this anymore.
Because I don't know what's going to happen with anything.
No one ever really does.
No.
But I have told you my thoughts on the next 6-7 months.
Yeah.
That's a long enough time.
Yeah, I know.
For you to.
Yeah, I'll have to start building something new in that time. But at this point, I'm not building anything. That's it. I can't. None of us can. All our plans have been put on hold yet again, and we know what it's going to be like. That's what it is. And people making suggestions. Why I can't even pick up a book at the moment. I can't concentrate on that. I'm just rubbish.
Why do I feel guilty?
You shouldn't feel guilty. Everyone's feeling like this.
For you. Why do I feel guilty for you?
Because you care about me and you
But I
don't
feel,
want me feeling like this.
But I feel it's my responsibility because I've said I'm considering in July
it's
maybe
not.
knocking.
It's not your responsibility.
Disappearing.
It's not your responsibility.
Thinking of disappearing.
It's not.
Okay. I am being honest and putting forward my needs.
Yeah. But I'm allowed to say that's
Yeah, good.
And it's not as a knock on of what you've said.
Okay, good. No, good. I take back the good. Okay, thank you for telling me. And I just wanted to. I guess I was fishing to see if you had any ill feelings towards me because of what I've said about careers and stuff.
No,
okay.
I don't. I feel a bit sad that. I don't know what's going to happen next. I've always known what's going to happen next. But it's all good. It's all good. Something will happen. Something will turn up. I realise I'm being affected by this whole swirling, flipping vortex that we're all in
turn
at the
the light
moment.
off then. You bought them.
No, you know what I mean. It's a weird time. It's a weird time in our history, and it's a weird time for each individual person who, it's what you said ages ago, is that you realise that the thing holding our lives together, the certainties of our lives, paper thin. It takes one thing. It all kind of starts to unravel, and that's what's happening.
Blues Noodler. Is that flight or fight talking? It's a good thing you built here. No, it's not that. It's not that. For me, it's a real look at the last 20 years of my life and realizing I've not really enjoyed that much of it. But I would like to disappear and see, I'm finding it hard. This is a conversation that 3 months ago we would have been easy to have had and stuff. But now I feel like here it is. I feel like a fraud.
Why?
I feel like a fraud doing this because I'm just thinking, are we doing ban or unban night tomorrow? No, we're not. We're doing this.
All rise. For Judge Boyle's Judgment Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the court is now in session.
We're doing that tomorrow.
Do you want to do that tomorrow? We'll do that tomorrow.
Of course we're doing that tomorrow. We're going to have some great ones.
We've got loads.
I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, you know, I feel like a fraud. This conversation, my part of this conversation, it feels like I'm really having to force it out because I think that I am now at a point in my life where I don't want to share as much about myself as I was doing 3 weeks ago. And I think it is that thing. You mentioned it again of, for a lot of my life, I have been chasing approval. From my parent, from mummy, and from daddy, and from you guys. And me walking out of, me checking myself, I had to sign myself out of rehab was a real, it went against what almost everyone was saying. I spoke to so many people and nearly all of them said, oh, you've got to stay. Got to stay. This is a great opportunity. This will be the making of you. You have to stay. Nearly everyone. And I'm there for 4 days going, I don't think this is right, but everyone's telling me. And I made such a defiant, it felt like such a defiant gesture. Me taking control of and going against what nearly everyone was telling me to do. And I realised that we got 3,500 people watching this. If you want to call us, 0203 286
They're sensing that one of us is going to go at some point.
I realised that I did a big thing that did not court. I'd made a big decision that did not court. Here we go. I made a big decision that did not court public approval, and in some ways went against the approval of my peers, and it felt great, and it was the right thing to do. And suddenly I'm like, I don't need today public approval. Hello, Jerry.
I could come.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry. And Jerry sometimes takes a little bit longer to get to speak on the phone. He may have muted it with his peen.
But we can't hear you, Jerry, if you can hear us.
I could come.
Thank you, Sloop.
Thank you, Big. Okay, no Jerry there. It's a phone show. We've got 3,500 people watching us. Why doesn't someone who has never spoken to us before phone us up now and ask us anything? We're having a heavy chat, but we can also have fun chats. Here's what we do.
I think he did it.
I think she did it.
I don't think they're dead.
I know who did it.
Do you?
Who
Hi, Ian Lee here. I'm half of the Late Night Alternative with Catherine Boyle and me. And I want to tell you what we've got coming up this week. On Mondays, it's SOS, Shonky Old Shows, where we show old shows on, Tuesday, it's Tuesday Club. Come in. Oh, Wednesdays, we don't play Cluedo, we play Udo. It's not Cluedo. I don't remember what Thursdays are. And Fridays? Well, that's Judgment Day. Judge Boyle. So make sure you look smart. That's weekday nights from 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/Ian Lee, the Late Night Alternative, with me, Ian Lee, and Catherine Boyle. That's her there. She's older than that now. So that's the show. Jake, we missed a call.
That's pretty much it, yeah. Well, apart from some of those things have been chucked already.
Nothing's been chucked.
Hudo, we don't play Hudo no more after the first time.
It was
long.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you see/hear me?
We can hear you, but we cannot see you.
Oh, it's probably for the best. Oh no, I know why. There we go. Close that, and then if I, it's not as easy as it looks. This thing, is it? I'm gonna call you back.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, called us back immediately.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
I borrowed Daniel's office. If that's
Oh.
It looks like you're in the Big Brother house.
Can we stay heavy for a little bit?
Yes, please. Go on.
Well, I had quite a traumatic festive period. I had to leave home because of my partner's actions, and have got a lot of help by going to these virtual Al-Anon meetings. And that's something that I've only got turned on to or was aware of through this show and through both of yours honesty and the type of honesty that you were just showing before you played that little video. And that's a really beautiful thing that I've not seen or rarely seen in any other media ever. So I just wanted to put that out there, do a little share, show my gratitude for what you do and who you are.
For those who don't know, because there will be people in the chat who don't know, Al-Anon is I don't know much about it because I've never been, but I've heard of people that have been and have got a lot of comfort from it. It's basically a 12-step group for, have I got this right, for relatives or friends of alcoholics.
Yes. Yeah.
And they kind of help you work out what is your responsibility, what isn't your responsibility, how, boundaries, where some, it helps one look at the, would you explain, you've been going?
Yeah, and so been going for about a week, and the biggest thing I've taken, I have started putting little post-it notes of like affirmation. Oh, that's fucking technology. Sorry, language.
St. John just dropped a bomb in the chat. St. John, wowzers.
And so I put little
Al-Anon's
post-it
great.
notes everywhere, and this is the 3 C's.
Yeah.
You did not cause it, you cannot control it, and you cannot cure it.
Yeah.
And this is in relation to somebody that I love deeply, but I cannot help.
It's those 3 C's I've found very handy, handy, because obviously when you care about someone, you want to fix it for them, don't you? And you can drive yourself crackers, hypervigilant, not sleeping, and if you go down, there's no way anyone else is going to get any help from you, is there? So those 3 C's I found really, really important. I'm glad you found them too, because it just allows you to just center yourself every now and again. When you feel yourself going, you've got to hand it over. You talk about handing it over a lot. That's another thing that they talk about in 12 Step, isn't it? And the same applies. And actually, a lot of the 12 steps I think could be handy for everybody. We've all got stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
How are you?
Better than I was a week ago, and not as good as I'll be next week, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. This too shall pass. It gets better. It might get a bit worse again.
Oh, do you know what's funny? I left the house with the clothes on my back and a backpack, and in my backpack I put my platinum membership card and your little 7-inch single. Just like in the rush of the moment with the police there and get the stuff that you need. And
Jesus.
And so I didn't have any socks, but I had my platinum membership card.
That will, as you know, that will get you in
places.
That will get you in almost anywhere.
All the wrong places.
Here's what a lot of people don't know, right? That during lockdown, if you have them, we don't sell them anymore. If you have a platinum membership card, you can get into anywhere. and it will get you the vaccine next Tuesday as well. If and can I just say, Jake, I'm loving those nails.
Beautiful.
I would like to wear a little bit of nail varnish.
It would suit you. A dark colour.
But I feel like I'm too old to kind of start making those big changes. I'd love a little bit of nail varnish.
It's only paint.
It is only paint, but I feel I'm too old to start making changes like that.
No, you got to do it. Don't save stuff for best, and don't tell yourself you're too old for anything.
Well, I'm too old for primary school.
Well, you could be a teacher.
Could be a teacher, I suppose. Okay,
Not
well, do you know
finger
what?
paint though.
Jake, maybe I might wear some nail varnish, and maybe you've inspired that. I think that'd be fun.
I'll bring you some if you want.
I just think it'll be fun. Be fun. I don't know to do it to make a big statement about gender or sexuality. Just to say I like my fingers looking a bit colourful. That's all. That's all it would be.
That's all it is.
Keyboard like this, looking down my fingers, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
Jake, maybe this had to happen so that I finally start painting my nails.
Don't grow them out too long though.
No, I don't.
No, that's
I don't. I don't want particularly feminine fingernails or any of that stuff. Although I do, I always comment if someone is serving me a drink or I meet someone that's got those big long nails. I don't want them, but I always have to comment on those nails. Go, my God, your nails are incredible.
Yeah, but they're a pain in the ass.
I bet they're a nightmare.
Yeah, having had them, and my sister was cabin crew for a long time, and they had to have standard issue. They had to have long nails, long red nails. Imagine. That was the idea. Or they were allowed those now very dated kind of French tips, what they call them.
It's not very hygienic, is it?
No, and she couldn't open a ring pull. She used to have to use a spoon, and so you can only imagine what the intimate hygiene was about. No thanks. No, it stops you from functioning.
Intimate Hygiene, a great band, by the way. Intimate Hygiene. I've got their first album on vinyl.
I keep mine fairly short because it starts to become a pain after this. But I do like painting my nails. I do.
Jake.
Oh, you also wanted to show off my watch. Where's my camera?
Oh, that's a beauty.
It's gold plated.
I've got.
I saw yours the other day and was like,
got mine. Yeah, mine's the classic black.
So.
Oh look, I can see it. Here we go. There's cover your face.
Gold's better.
Hang on a minute. That technique doesn't work anyway. Gold's. I would say plastic is. I would say gold is ostentatious. Oh, hang on. I've just seen the jacket I'm wearing.
And the Hello Kitty top. Yes.
All right.
Jake.
Up your bum.
Good luck. I was going to say, and then he hung up.
The 3 C's. Someone was asking in chat. The 3 C's are
Quim.
That's a Q.
What? Sorry.
Quim is with a Q.
No, when I
You're spelling it wrong. I did not cause it. I cannot control it. I cannot cure it.
But I can cane it.
No, that's the other person's problem, unfortunately.
Yes. Yes. Hello. Oh,
we have a cat.
Oh no, we've been called by a cute, very, very tired cat. Look at that. Hello, mate.
Well, my Twitch stream is way behind.
The Twitch is absolutely knackered tonight. But hang on a minute. I know. Who is? Oh, look.
Now that looks like some sort of bobcat. What's going on with this? What breed is that?
He's a Maine Coon.
He's gorgeous.
I love the Maine Coons. They're big, aren't
They're
they?
huge, yeah.
Oh, he's fucked up.
Oh, and well. Now is that an original PlayStation 1?
Yes, and a 3 and a Wii.
Mate, we need to hang out. He's got a Maine Coon and
600 upstairs.
What's upstairs? Did you say the Sex Dungeon?
An Atari 2600.
Oh, yeah, they're crap though. They look beautiful.
Oh yeah, they are shit.
But the games are flipping terrible on them. You go, every time I see one, I go, oh, let's have a go on this. 20 seconds later, okay, well that was fun. Thanks very much. How can we help you, Dominic?
Well, no, I'll ring back next time the cat's on me.
Oh, you just wanted to show off the cat.
I don't blame you. It's a beautiful cat.
What's the cat called?
Sydney.
Sydney. I love it. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Sydney.
Bye, Sydney.
Tatty, bye. That was beautiful. Maine Coons are massive.
Yeah.
They're like the size of big children. Hey, St. John. If you get the time, we've always got the time for this guy.
Of course we have. Ah, St. John.
Hi.
What fun playing prop hunt the other day. What fun.
That was a blast.
I played
I
it a
loved
little bit today and I only had about 45 minutes. I thought, right, I'm just going to get in and play some prop hunt and I'll do it on my own. And it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as it was with you and Amy. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking maybe one afternoon next week, dear viewer, Call of Duty Black Ops prop hunt. Just get as many people in as we can because it was so much fun. I might be playing it over the weekend with my kids, but I probably won't stream it. I might stream it without a camera. But if you see us online, St. John, come in and join us.
Yeah, anytime that I see you guys online, I'll play.
Nice one, man. How you doing?
Good.
Hey, can I just say?
Night. Go ahead.
We're about to go somewhere heavy. But can someone get me a screenshot? Someone's just said, you're 200 viewers behind Dan TDM.
Wow.
Right? That's my boy's hero. I don't know how it would work. Is there a way of getting a screenshot that shows that I'm 200, me and Catherine, are 200 viewers behind Dan Tudham's? Because and I show that to my boys tomorrow, that will make me look so freaking cool. My boy phoned me up today and said, Daddy, I found a video on YouTube, the world's loudest cat purr. And there's a voice in there and it sounds like yours. We found it on YouTube. It was me. And he went, oh my God, it was you. He was some old TV show I did. So for 2 minutes I was cool because I'd done a thing that had 17 million views. That's why he was so excited. And also, my son was bunking off homeschooling, Googling world's loudest cat purr.
I think it's a worthy
That's
Google.
my boy. That's my boy.
I love it.
That's what he was doing. So if there is a way of getting a screen grab, if anyone could send me to the late night alternative email of us being 200 viewers below Dan Tudham's.
Yeah.
Sweet Lord.
I need to be able to flash that around tomorrow.
That is going to...
We both want to flex to our kids.
Oh, he's gone offline.
Oh, that'll do it then. We've got more viewers
now
than
you're
him now.
way more.
St. John, go on, my friend. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying I appreciate that website. Even though it's in the UK, I'll try and see if there's something similar.
Is there not Al-Anon in the States?
Yeah, there is, because Chemda from Keith and the Girl told me about it.
Yeah, it'll be in the States. I mean, AA started in the States, so...
Makes sense. I need it.
Yeah.
I saw the little package of poop you put in the chat there. I didn't
I'm
realize,
sorry
man.
about my poop package.
I didn't realize. You said that you're not spoken to your mum for 4 years because she's an alcoholic.
Yeah, on top of a bunch of other things, but I think a lot of it stems from alcoholism. I haven't spoken to basically either side of my family because they're both kind of alcoholics, my dad and my mom.
Wow.
Which is part of the reason why I don't drink. I do in moderation, but I'm very, very 2 drinks and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm set.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was one of the chaotic, just in your face and everything. She becomes the center of attention and destructive whenever she drank. And yeah, so she almost ruined our wedding day, and that was basically the last straw of why I don't talk to her anymore. She's tried to reach out a couple of times, but she's never tried to actually apologize. So I've told her if she wants to apologize, then we can maybe move forward from there, but she hasn't tried to so far. So
yeah, someone gave me some really good advice when that kind of stuff happens. I can help you. Oh, look at that. I can help you to change, but I won't help you to stay the same. I can help you to change. I'm willing to put up with this if you're willing to change, but we're not doing this all over again. And it feels like, with your mum, if she's not going to apologise or accept what's gone before, then you're just restarting, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, it was a rough wedding time. She do you care if I tell you about my wedding?
I'd love to hear
talked
about
it
it.
before. I think it helps me cope with it and not be as angry about it. So she's been an alcoholic since her and my dad started getting a divorce. It was just people that they got married because they were pregnant with me and they weren't like truly in love.
Right.
So they kind of stuck through it as long as they could. They waited until I was graduated from high school and they tried to make it through. My brother, he's 3 years younger than me, to make it through. And in the meantime, it was just people trying to move out and my mom drinking way too much. She got a gastric bypass surgery and I think that changed her a lot. I'm sure that it's great for a lot of people, but when you go from being 300 pounds to being less than 100 pounds because it was crazy successful, I think she also found it as a new lease on life because she had me when she was young. She got married to somebody that she didn't love and she was just in a bad health state. So now that all of that stuff was going through, she just started drinking and getting way too much with it. And I was always more attached to my mom than I was my dad when we were growing up. But when she started to drink a lot, it was just a mess. So yeah, it basically became my dad and my brother moved out, which left me with my mom in a 4-person house. And then my mom left me by myself in a house that was made for a family. It was a family house that was by myself. I didn't have a job outside of a little pizza place that I could walk to. I didn't have a car. And she would just come home randomly. She wouldn't announce when she would come home. She would just get drunk and come home. And it was to the point to where I would have to pick her up and carry her up the stairs to put her in bed. And she wouldn't remember anything the next day. That's how blackout drunk she would get consistently. But I still kept going through and doing my life and everything, trying not to be too mad at her, too resentful, because I understand a lot of things that happened in her life that made her want to do what she did. And then eventually I met my wife, my girlfriend, and life got better.
But in the chat, Morph has just put, "This is the most complex quiz question ever." Thank you, Wolf. Well played. Sorry to interrupt, Sinjin. I just thought that was worth it.
I'm sorry that I'm going on a tangent.
No, please don't apologise. It's great. This is what it's all about.
So yeah, it basically became a situation where my mom was just constantly going and dating toxic people. There was one dude that she met from Texas that moved from Texas to Maryland in a month, and I got into a fist fight with him because he called me a name. Because I was mad at my mom one day because she had been drinking. So he moved out and then I tried to move out as soon as possible after that. Hadn't really talked to her in the meantime between then. And we decided that we were going to get married. I invited her just out of the kindness of our hearts, I guess. We just tried to be not super critical of her and we tried to give her another chance to be a part of our lives. She went through and didn't want to participate in anything as far as the wedding went, and just kept making excuses as to why they didn't want to participate in everything. The only thing that I asked her to do, there's a lot more to this story. The only thing that I asked her to do for my wedding, I didn't want any kind of monetary gift or material gift or anything like that. I just asked her not to drink for my wedding. That was the only thing that I wanted her to do. And I asked my brother, I'm still pretty close with my brother. I asked him to keep an eye on her and a bunch of people. I shouldn't have to ask people to keep an eye on my mom at my wedding.
No.
But that was a thing that we had to do, unfortunately. And because she was my mother, she was there early and she had already started drinking early in the morning before the wedding had even gotten close to being ready. Lauren was getting dressed and my mom was already super drunk, being loud and obnoxious and all the typical things that she did. So I was hoping that was going to maybe wear off because it was like a later night wedding and it was a long day. We get to the wedding and it's just gotten worse. All the times where she was supposed to be quiet, she would scream and clap. Like every time that we were supposed to be going down the aisle or anything, everybody else was quiet and we were supposed to be quiet. She would...
Sounds like the kind of vibe I would have loved if I'd have been there. That element of, I'm sure it was horrendous for you, and I don't mean to make light, but that element of danger and unpredictability. Oy, oy, oy.
So that was where it started. And my dad came too, and I was a little bit afraid of my dad getting there and getting drunk because he's had a history of like being spiteful when he gets drunk. He thinks that a lot of things are my mom's fault as far as the divorce, but it's just two people that weren't compatible. So, like, I see where he's coming from, but I don't want him to get drunk and, like, start blaming people or getting sad or mopey or whatever. He actually did fantastic. I love my dad for what he did at the wedding. He got drunk, but he was, like, the best kind of drunk, like, the one that's, like, hanging on to people and telling them how much he loves people. He came up to me and said that he was proud of me for, like, the first time ever in my life, and that made me cry. But yeah, so it got like progressively worse and progressively louder. We get to the reception and it's just like gone. Apparently, I'm going to list off some of the things that happened because I didn't see a lot of this stuff because I was trying to avoid it. She wasn't wearing underwear and kept dancing and lifting her dress up on the dance floor. So everybody saw
Hoochie coochie, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people saw that.
Wow, you can just stop there. That everyone saw my mum's vagina at my wedding. That's an Oprah episode. It's wow, man.
Yeah, so,
carry on. I mean that would be enough. But go on. There's more. Go on.
Right. So she had her boyfriend, who's like a slight drug addict. I don't think he's like full blown or anything like that. And like I understand that there's like different aspects and levels to it. He was kind of zoned out like the whole time. I don't think I even said hi to him once. I might have said it in passing, but he just like looked at me with a blank stare. He had no idea what was happening. While he was sitting there with a blank stare, my mom went into the bar, which was in a different room, and made out with my wife's brother.
Oh my God.
Which is also weird, and not a lot of people know about it. So I hope nobody from.
Don't worry, there's only nearly 5,000 people watching us at this moment in time. Jeez.
What else did she do? She did some other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, the big thing that we didn't learn about until after the wedding, because one of my friends that was there told me. Basically, all the party of my family were my friends because I'm not like super close with my family.
Yeah.
Lauren's side was like filled with like third cousins and all this other stuff, a bunch of people that she knows but like she doesn't keep close with. All of mine were friends and then like a handful of family members. But apparently when she was in the bathroom, when my mom was in the bathroom, she was crying a lot. And when somebody went up to console her, am I allowed to say the B word?
Yes. Brexit.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So when she was in the bathroom and she was crying, people were trying to console her and ask her what was wrong. And my mom said, "My son is getting married to a Brexit."
Oh my God.
Wow,
kept
that's
saying
the
it
worst
over and
thing.
over again.
You're actually going to say it.
She kept doing it over and over again.
Oh, man. We're laughing.
And we didn't know about that until after the wedding.
Yeah.
Like somebody kind of told me. They were like, "Hey, this happened." So yeah,
we're
we
laughing. We're laughing because it's so outrageous.
Yeah,
but how do you feel about it now?
I don't know. It's weird. I've kind of disassociated myself with the feeling of like feeling like I need to have my mom in my life because for a really long time I felt that dependency, and I think it was just because of how I was like raised. Like because we weren't even like maybe a middle class family. Like I didn't get my driver's license or my car until like super late on when I actually met my wife. Like I didn't have a lot of things to myself that like I was able to work towards outside of school. So I kind of felt like I needed to be with her even when she was being toxic or alcoholic or whatever the case may have been. Now I know that I don't need that, obviously, but I miss her from time to time. But there's been so many times like that where we've tried to give her second chances and she just soils it, like just straight just throws it away. And I'm hoping that me being so staunch about me needing an apology from her or needing some kind of feedback from her that's not her trying to blame other things outside of her will make her see that if I do let her back into my life, like, I need her to focus on her. Like, I'm willing to help her if she wants to. I can talk to her. I've talked about her or talked to her about, like, things that we can do for, like, many, many times. And it seems like she takes it and then maybe she just has, like, one last fling. And then when the last fling happens, it all goes away. And she's just like, I don't want to anymore. Yeah, so I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to like not have a mom to like talk to about like things I'm proud of and stuff, and like things that I do that I'm like happy about. Like I have my wife and everything, but it's different to have like family, and I don't really have family. Like, I don't even think that she knows I stream, because I just started streaming. Like, she doesn't know what I do, like, at all. She knows where I live, and she sends cards every once in a while, but all they say are mom, and, like, I every once in a while... I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, what's going on in my life? Because there was a point where she was, like, very supportive and kind and things like that. So, yeah. I'm sorry for crying on your stream.
I'm sorry your mum's too ill to play a part in your life. You're such a lovely man. She's missing out.
I know. And I don't want her to miss out. I don't want anybody to miss out. Because I'm excited about everything that's happening. I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you married a Brexit.
He didn't. I've seen her, and she's the least Brexity woman you'll ever meet.
She's great.
If that's what Brexit is, then I love Brexit.
All I can say, St. John, is I hope she gets it. I hope she gets recovery, whatever that looks like for her, whether that's in the rooms, whether that's in church, whether that there's loads of different ways of doing it. The only one I personally know that works is the 12 steps, but there are other ways for other people, and I hope she gets it at some point. I hope she sinks. I hope she hits her rock bottom and realizes that there is an alternative.
In the meantime, for you, I think probably Al-Anon is definitely Al-Anon is a great thing to have a look at. But also, someone mentioned in the chat, and it's a technique we've kind of looked at before, right? Which is write her a letter. You don't have to send it; just get it all down.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I didn't speak to my dad for years and years and years, and I wrote him a letter. Didn't send it. It just helped me clarify what my thoughts were, what my feelings were, and do that. And Al-Anon would be great. I think what you may find surprising, maybe you won't, is in Al-Anon is the number of people whose story is really different to yours in terms of the names and the places and the situations. But actually, there's a common thread throughout nearly all of them where you'll go, shit, you felt like that.
Yeah.
That happened to you. Oh my God, I thought I was the only person who felt like this about my mum, and you're telling me you feel the same about your nan or your gran or your partner, and you'll get a lot of identification.
You were talking about your wedding. I remember going to a wedding where the father of the bride was basically your mum, right? And there are a lot of families that have got that person, and you love them. You don't like what they do. You don't know what they're doing to themselves. But it is a disease, right? And at some point, you have to decide whether that disease is starting to infect your life or not. And, it may be that it's not healthy for you to have your mum around. But there is always hope for people. I really believe that. There is always hope for people. And you won't stop loving her. It's just dealing with life the way it is at the moment. That's what that's what I certainly can use some help with. from time to time, and I think Al-Anon is probably our best bet.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from the sadness comes from like I know how she used to be too.
Yeah.
And
you know this isn't her, right?
Yeah.
This thing that you're dealing with isn't her.
Mm-hmm. So,
But-
and I was terrified that with COVID that something would happen to her, but I didn't want to reach out to her because I didn't want to spark it on one side. I'm pretty sure she's healthy with it, but it was just, it sucks not being able to reach out to somebody because like, I don't want it to seem like I'm giving in to like the restrictions that I set and like the rules that I set, because then it's just going to allow her to just do whatever she wants again. So.
Yeah. Oh man, it sucks.
Look after yourself, look after your amazing wife, and let her look after you as well. And, you know, hopefully, this will sound like some hippy-dippy shit. Hopefully that will send out the energy, you know, some kind of positive energy into the universe, and some of it might land on your mum. And that's all you can do, is carry on being happy and loving and being loved. And hopefully she'll get some of that. She might not, St. She might not ever. And that's another thing. But Al-Anon would be really great at helping you realise what you can affect and what you can't affect.
Oh, I tell you what else is great. Our friend Chemda, who works on a podcast called Keith and the Girl, they were like podcasting before anyone had put a name to it. They started out and she had to explain it to people. Like, I kind of work on the internet. It's sort of a radio show. Anyway, they're brilliant. They are brilliant. And they are kind of no-nonsense New Yorkers. Well, he's from Pennsylvania, but whatever. But she's wonderful.
Is he?
Yeah, that's why he's got a weird accent.
Oh, little shit.
He says things like ruined.
Okay.
Oh, it was completely ruined.
That's why he doesn't like Jumanji.
That's why he's weird. He is weird, and he goes into some of his stuff, and you kind of get to understand why, you know, he's a little strange. But I love them both dearly, right? She does this thing called 1 Minute at a Time, OMAT. And it's about, again, she's been through stuff in her life that have meant that she's worrying about someone who's treating her badly, boundaries, all that kind of stuff. But it's all about sort of centering yourself and not panicking, because I risk flipping out when I can't help someone, when I can't control something, when I'm worrying all the time. I start to spiral, and she's really great at just getting you to center. And like I say, it's 1 minute at a time, so you don't have to give it a lot of commitment. But she's just that moment of going, do you know what? Nothing is happening now. I am here doing this. I'm just going to let myself breathe for a bit and let whatever's happening happen.
I need that.
Yeah, we all need it. You know what? We all need it, especially now. I think the world of you, St. John. I'm so sorry things are so shit.
It's okay. Things got a lot better when I met you guys. So I appreciate you guys a lot.
Well,
you silly sausage. Right. Take care, man. Love you lots.
I love you guys too.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Let's do this. Let's just go for this. Hello there. Yes.
Sup, son? Guess who?
Is it Barry Gibb?
Sounds like his teeth.
Sweet Jesus, no, it's Herbert.
It's sorry, who's sorry?
It's Herbert.
Hubbard?
Sweet Jesus. Herbert.
Hammond?
Hammond.
There's
Piss me off.
Oh,
Just trying to piss him off.
Didn't mean to piss you off. I just couldn't quite hear what you were saying.
Yeah.
That's all. Couldn't hear what you were saying. Oh, it was Herbert from the Family Guys.
Oh, he's kind of an old pervert. Not kind of an old pervert. He's an old pervert.
Oh, we got 4,500 people watching this. You guys look like sick entertainment. Seeing people in pain. Barry Gibb. Daddy Bear Cover's seen the documentary then.
Honestly, man.
You've seen the documentary then. I will clear my ear out. Don't ask me why I chose this. Whenever I want to clear my fucking ear out. It's my body. It's my body. We might get to see Maine Coon. There we go.
There we go.
Mute that Twitch stream. Everyone just stay quiet. Everyone stay still.
Ah, shit.
Everyone stay still. Everyone stay still.
It's Stanley. No, Sydney.
Sydney. So
all right, Dominic, don't get angry. We forgot your cat's name for a second. Calm down, everyone. Calm down. This is a lovely moment.
Look at that little face.
That looks like an actual
like a bobcat.
tiger.
What is it like to have a cat sit on your lap? Mine won't.
Mine, I can't get mine off my lap. But then I cover my knob in fish paste.
Oh my god!
So that could be. Holty says, "Get that bollock out of your arsehole, Mr. Lee. I want the pleasures."
You want the pleasures?
I want the pleasures.
Don't
pleasures.
hate. Don't hate. Congratulate.
The pleasures. Jay says, "Sorry, but are we actually avid about this cat?" Don't know what that means.
Purple moving. Mine only wants to sit on my lap when I'm teaching virtually or playing a game. Always a damn inconvenience. Don't. Oh.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, that look.
What do you do? What is he supposed to do?
Oh no, I can't.
Do it. Catherine's got a technique for scaring cats.
No, for scaring my cat when
Go
she
on.
starts pulling at my nice rug.
What do you do?
Although today she's got wise. So I did that. She ran away. Then I went to sit back down again. Then she went back over to the rug. And then at one point I had to stand on the corner of the rug she was trying to get to because she would not leave it alone. It was a standoff.
God, look at that. He is beautiful.
Isn't he?
The delay is so long, I can't see what you're seeing.
Oh, he winked! He's winking!
Oh.
Hello, cute boy.
Oh, he's winking!
So funny.
Look at that, winking. It's a winking cat.
Look at those tuft ears.
Oh!
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm bored of that.
I think he's adorable.
Why have you got a Hello Kitty t-shirt on, lad? Because I like it.
Why haven't you? Why are you so bothered about what someone else is wearing, lad?
Why would you not want a Hello Kitty shirt on? I don't know that. I do not understand.
Cat's winking. Call me now. Robo Burger Birds. I stuck a ball up my bum once for a dare. It were a hot Campbell's gravy meatball. Only managed to won £20. Good story.
Logan says...
Will's sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, Catherine. Jeez, I'm not offended.
Logan, in a tweet, replying to someone, "This reminds me how much I missed the show on the wireless. Just can't get into the Twitch show, sadly." I've replied, "Thanks for telling us. It's just my honest opinion."
No, gist he put.
Just, yeah, thanks for telling us. I mean, you don't have to tell everyone. Do you know what? I'm going to block that guy.
It's the thing of just my honest opinion is now the...
Blocked. There we go.
Is now the... Oh, don't get offended. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Would I stand over you at work and say, you're not very good at this?
You do
are
actually, Catherine, and that annoys the hell out of me. Oh, so I've worked out what my gimmick is going to be.
Go on.
For counselling. Cats.
All right, tell me.
Like cat cafe, right? But for counselling, you come to
Some
cats.
people are afraid of cats.
Well, then I won't see them.
Okay.
I'm not interested in seeing them. It'll be like the gimmick. It'll be the gimmick, and it'll be the advert. People will say we should go and see this guy Ian. He's great. It's just cats everywhere.
Yeah.
And at first it's weird, but then they kind of sit on you, and actually you just find you're stroking, and your blood pressure comes down, and it's really relaxing and meditative. And then that's the gimmick. So I need to get.
Do you need to be there, or can you just like sit
No,
down?
I still talk to them and stuff.
Right.
But I need to get some more cats.
No, I don't think you need any more cats.
I reckon I could do 2 more.
House.
King Pigeon will go to cat counselling. You freaking know it. You freaking know. I want to check the stats, right? So let's have a look. We're going to do this. Oh, let's do the sponsors first. Let's do the sponsors.
Let's do that.
Let's do the sponsors. Let's do the sponsors. Now, we haven't given Poseidon Safety Management anywhere near enough time. So,
or respect.
Listen, Devon and Cornwall, they are a private safety management company. And they're brilliant. They do a lot for the community, like we say. Listen, you got to pay them. Of course, you got to pay them. Okay, you can Google it, Asu Dude. Of course, you've got to pay them, but they do a lot of stuff for the community. Because Nick, who started the company, was a little bit at a lost end, loose end, didn't really know what he wanted to do with his life, and then decided to start this company with an aim to making the environment, his local community, better. You get it? And does a lot of free stuff to support the community. Free patrols for schools, for some schools, for a nursery, for a pub that were, done in during the first and the best lockdown. They also weren't part of unpleasant part of their job is asking homeless people to move on from doorways and things like that. And they make a little care package to give to the person, and a lot of the homeless people know their patrol by name, and it's done in a respectful, humane way. They also made up little care packages for the 999 responders as well during the kind of lockdown. And Nick is a great guy. I don't know Nick particularly well, but when I was struggling the last few weeks, he's just checked in, just every now and then, a little WhatsApp. Just, is everything right? Need anything? That's it.
And
good guy.
All the sponsors have been in touch with me when they thought I was going to be doing the show on my own, and it was like, just to let you know, you're going to be brilliant.
We want 55% off.
No, they're saying they wanted to pay more. No, they were saying that we still had their support, and that they would see us both through it, and that they were they're good mates.
People. We have good companies. We will not have awful companies. Abbey Care. Paul has been really helpful. Paul was the head honcho, the big guy at Abbey Care. And he set me up with going there and has checked in with me a few times. And again, I cannot stress enough, please don't think for a second when I say I stayed there for 4 days and left, it was in no way a reflection on the place or the staff. Au contraire, that was one of the reasons I felt so torn about leaving, is because the people there were great, Colin and Charlotte, and I wanted to do more work with them, and it just wasn't meant to be at this time. But it's a brilliant place, and the food is great, man. The food is great. Breakfast, yeah. Lunch and dinner, great. I would suggest there's one of these places where they don't let you have caffeine, so get a jar of Nescafe up your Jackson. They search your bags, they don't search your bumhole. So that would be and if you mention this when if you book in for treatment, they will give you 25% off. Talk to me about the big man.
Oh, Richard Gregorian. He's a cool guy. He does not wear shades in the consultation, but he does wear glasses, which means he's an intellectual, as we all know. Richard Gregorian has been one of our sponsors since we began this, and one of our supporters since way before.
It's an illustration of what he does, really.
It's this sort of flowchart of procedures. So you're having a love tussle, not the fun kind. Then he can bring about harmony. He's not a saint, he's a lawyer. But if you want to get divorced and still be talking to each other afterwards, G-Law's your go-to. They want to make sure that you're still talking because you're still a family. If you've got kids, you've got to be mum and dad, and they want to make sure that is made as easy as possible with as little conflict as possible, unlike some other companies who will try and pit you against each other. So yeah, G-Law.
Hey, 34sp.com is a brilliant web hosting service. It's great. They advertised with us before. They're a really ethical place. When lockdown, before lockdown happened last year, and people were saying, well, should we be working from home or not? They sent the whole staff home. They said, go home. They sent their staff masks, like top quality masks. And they kind of have a lot of check-ins with them, and they're really up on their mental health and making sure that they're all okay, and they kind of have Zoom pizza get-togethers and stuff, and it's great. And they've already told them, the staff, stay at home for 2021. That's amazing. That's amazing when there are so many companies Just move over a little bit, thank you.
Yep.
There are so many companies that are desperate to get their staff back in, but they've got a great offer going on at the moment, which I don't know much about. But luckily, Jackie Stallone is here.
Yeah, Jackie.
Oh Jesus, my kids are asleep, Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie. You
Okay.
could get yourself a domain, and when I say domain, I mean your .co.uk, your .org.me. Apparently is a thing these days. Who knew? I did not see it when I read the buttocks in my most recent session. Anyhow, it will cost you £1 English pound, which I believe is what they pay you guys in, because you don't have dollars. Where are you from? Moors? No, England. Okay. Anyway, I thought I was coming here to be with some of the finest people in the land, with chandeliers and fine wines. What is
Jesus
this
Christ. Fuck. Right, okay, thank you, we're done. 34sp.com. Here you go. It shows you. Phil says one of the best shows you've done. One of the best shows you've done tonight. This is the only show we've done tonight. So okay, probably the only show that we've done tonight. Have I got battery in this? Yeah, I need to. Okay.
Okay.
You know what? I think we're done.
I think we're.
Look, the quiz is on hold. It's 3-1. The quiz is on hold.
I won.
But, no.
Calling it a win.
Quiz is on hold.
Calling it a win for me.
Well, you would do because you're bell cheese.
Hurtful.
Let's have a little look. So we're going to do a raid now. Would you like to explain what a raid is for the boys and girls?
For the 100 people out of the 4,000 that don't know what a raid is. Okay, a raid is when you take your audience and you introduce them to someone else's raid. Now, you don't have to go. Of course you don't. Maybe you've got better things to do with your time. Maybe you've got someone else that you want to see.
We've got
this
more
evening.
viewers than NBA.
I think we totally deserve that.
I mean, I don't believe those
No,
numbers, but
obviously
I'm totally owning it.
It's not true, but take a screenshot because we will definitely.
Hey, Basil
milk.
Butler's on. We're going to go and raid Basil Butler.
Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to the person that might be potentially your next favourite streamer. If you don't dig it, they don't need to know about it, but if you do, let them know. I think it's nice to spread a little bit of love around in a non-contact, socially distant, non-disease risk kind of way. Anyway.
Now,
oh no, is this a hold screen? What's this?
we're just having a little look. We're having a little look. This is Basil Butler. He used to call me ages ago.
Yeah. Brought his dog to one of our shows.
Yeah. But is he live?
Or is this a...
There we go. He's there. We're going to go and raid him.
Yeah, look, live. It says live.
With non-existence, it chose that.
He's not. It's a phone-in show, but we're the only phone-in show
Thank you
on
very much. That was a brilliant bit of editing from JC Escapades.
Twitch.
Does all the,
Here we go.
editing
Let's go. Let's go in and see. Let's go and have a little look.
If you're not, because there's a few.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, by the way, click follow. I should have said that earlier. I missed that. We're back tonight at 9. It will be Judge Boyle, and I think Lenny Beige is coming on, so that'll be fun. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
This hideous Twitch mess. This you may have not seen. Let's get rid of that. You may have not seen this before.
Everyone else has seen it fucking 1,000 times.
But here we go. Thank you very much, Ian Lee. Ian Lee's raiding with a party of 417. It's all happening tonight. It's absolutely incredible.